Yeah.
What's the thumbs up?
Mhm.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Ms. Bridgewater.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
May I have the SAP reset date, please?
Yes, it's going to be April the 14th.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And let's see, do we have courtroom 2 on with us yet?
This is on, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Do we have the attorneys on that can take some of the cases at ACDC while we're waiting for courtroom 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so let's see. Good afternoon, ladies. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. If you do not have a private attorney, we are providing you with the assistance of a public defender or conflict defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize their service. Where would you like to start first?
We can do number 10, Ms. Favors.
Good afternoon, Ms. Favors. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002069Y with battery and simple battery. Let's see, who do we have on from pretrial this afternoon? Is anyone on from pretrial this afternoon?
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor.
Yes, good afternoon. Is there a history?
Yes, we have the last arrest was August the 20th, 2024, out of DeKalb for battery family violence. There's 9 total cycles. There was a felony conviction in 2010 for aggravated assault. They got first offender treatment on that. It was sealed in 2018. There's a 2025 misdemeanor disorderly conduct, 2018 criminal trespass, another criminal trespass in 2010. Nothing further.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mrs. Rocco.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I did have that the most recent arrest for battery family violence out of DeKalb that was pled down to disorderly conduct. She was convicted of that. And I did see an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and criminal trespass conviction from 2018. This appeared to be separate from the aggravated assault that was First Offender Act. And 2 other arrests for battery family violence, one from 2021, the other from 2022. That was ultimately, both of them appear to have been null pros, one out of DeKalb and one out of here, different victim there. But this was an incident from March 28th, 2026. This was at 2460 Eaton Drive in East Point. It's an apartment complex, Judge. The officer made contact with the victim upon arrival, Miss Shamikia Benning, who explained that the defendant, her godmother, had a physical altercation with her. The victim had asked the defendant to leave because the defendant was overstaying her welcome. There was an altercation that took place following the defendant becoming upset, involving pushing and grabbing Miss Benning, excuse me. And there was a visible laceration on her left arm and a laceration on her left pinky as well. There's no biological relationship here, and the defendant doesn't live at the location. We did speak with Ms. Benning. She is she confirmed defendant is her godmother, and that her god sister, the defendant's daughter, tried to get the defendant to go home. Defendant didn't want to leave. She confirmed the events in the warrant, and says this also occurred at her last place of residence. She's unsure why the defendant didn't want to leave in this instance. She's asking for no bond, though, of course, two misdemeanor offenses. She's entitled to bond here. And she is requesting a cash bond. We think that's appropriate given her history, which is, it appears to be pretty much all violence, including felony violence. So the state is seeking a $3,000 cash bond here, Your Honor. 2,000 on the battery, 1,000 on the simple battery. 4 days anger awareness, no further contact with Shamikia Benning. Stay away from the apartment complex that's at 2460 Heaton Drive in East Point, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. If we could sound for Ms. Benning.
Ms. Benning is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Does not appear so. Good afternoon, Ms. Atai. Is this your case?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Miss Favors is 45 years old. She has lived in Georgia all her life. She has a lot of family and friends here. She doesn't work because she's on disability, Your Honor. She does have 3 children who all live in Georgia. I know she has what you heard, 9 cycles, some convictions, but she is recommended for a signature bond at level 2. She denies the allegations as stated in the warrant, and she can't afford any bond, Your Honor. She does have a good mailing address. Even with the cycles and the cases, she has had 0 FTAs. So I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services at level 2, which is the recommendation. And she doesn't live there, so stay away and no further contact is not an issue.
And Your Honor, I believe I did misspeak as to one of them. One piece of her history, the recent battery family violence arrest out of 2024 out of Conyers. That does appear, I believe that is open, and it was a different battery family violence. So yet another that was pled down to disorderly conduct, of which she was convicted in 2025 out of DeKalb.
Okay, if nothing further for the battery, it will be a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. For the simple battery, a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2 makes for a total of a $6,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. 8 anger management classes, no further contact with Ms. Benning, stay away from the Heaton Drive address, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Favors. Who do we have next?
Number 11, Mr. Floyd.
Say the number again for me, please. Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Floyd. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002072E with battery family violence, theft by taking, another count of battery family violence, and 2 counts of simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Yes, Your Honor. Their last arrest was October the 19th, 2019, out of Doraville for a probation violation. That appears to be their only arrest cycle. Nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco?
Yes, Your Honor. This was an October 20th, 2024 incident. It took place at 8058, Heathmore Drive in South Fulton. Officers responded there and made contact with Miss Jasmine Bean. She met officers very distraught. She had an extremely swollen left cheek and scraped bloody knees, as well as lacerations or scratches, on her knees, on her legs. And she explained that the defendant is, who is, at least was at the time, the significant other of the victim here, and they were living together there. They got into a verbal dispute. It became violent. He had punched her on the left side of her face with a clenched fist, and she had attempted to flee. the attack and exit the residence. And as she did so, defendant grabbed her by her hair from behind, proceeded to throw her down the hill in the front yard of the residence. And that's how she got these scrapes, bloody knees. And then it's also stated here that he had taken her phone and wallet. The victim we've spoken with, she explained she and the defendant were together for 10 years, share no children, and are no longer together. They explained they came home from being out and they got into an argument and it became physical. She states the defendant's never been violent with her before this instance here, and that she and the defendant have had contact maybe twice since the incident. And she did not go to the hospital after this. She states she's okay with a signature bond and doesn't mind contact with the defendant. We would be fine with a signature bond given this being from 2024, albeit this sounds like a very, very brutal incident here. We'd be fine with a signature bond, but we would be asking for no further contact and stay away from that address at 8058 Heathmore Drive in South Fulton. Just out of an abundance of caution here, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond, Your Honor. If we could sound for Miss Bean at this time.
Ms. Bean is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Does not appear so. Who's representing Mr. Floyd?
That would be me, Your Honor, Eric Bernstein, on Mr. Floyd's behalf. Mr.
Good
Floyd,
afternoon, Mr. Bernstein.
good afternoon, Judge. Good to see you. Mr. Floyd is a high school graduate. He has lived his whole life in Georgia. He's employed by Dish Network. He has an extensive network of family here in Georgia. So, Judge, as of May 27th of 2025, Ms. Bean signed an affidavit stating that they were still in a relationship, that she had no fear of Mr. Floyd, that on the night in question, the two of them had been drinking and they both got physical with each other. And Ms. Bean had stated in that affidavit that she's not sure who the primary aggressor was. In that affidavit, she stated that they were still in a relationship and she had no fear of him and she wanted to have contact with him. I would ask for a signature bond, Judge, given the lack of prior history and based on the statements made in the affidavit. I'd just be asking for a signature bond with no other conditions.
And for each battery charge will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For each simple battery will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the theft, a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 makes for a total of a $9,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Given that this is a 2024 incident, no further violent contact with Ms. Bean, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Floyd.
Your Honor, who would I email just to make sure I can get a copy of that? Do I just put my email address in the chat?
Go ahead and do that, and we'll see if we can get.
You can put it in there,
Yes,
and Miss Grace is assisting me today. So if he'll put it in there, we'll make sure he gets a copy.
All right, everyone. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Copy of the bond order.
Is that what you're asking for, Mr. Bernstein? A copy of the bond order?
Yes, that is.
Okay, now you won't get it until probably tomorrow because the judge won't sign everything until he's done with court today.
No
But if
worries.
you put that information in the chat, we'll make sure we get it to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a good afternoon. Who do we have next?
27, Mr. Rakes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rate. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002099C with driving under the influence of alcohol, less safe, and passing with insufficient clearance. Is there a history?
The last arrest was January 4th, 2026 out of College Park for a DUI. There are 3 total cycles, nothing further to report.
Your Honor, I have a consent. He's position 26 and 27. I have a consent in 26.
Yes, Your Honor, for the battery, family violence, offense is what the consent order is on. And if you would allow us to explain, Ms. St. Flores contacted our office today. It appears that Mr. Wraith has a bond that already on the DUI. And he was initially arrested on. He was given a bond in that case. His wife got a bonds person for the case, and I believe Miss Rachel St. Flora has a copy of that that we can send to the court. I've got a copy of it that I can send to the court.
The copy that Miss St. Fleur sent didn't have the charges on there, but
Okay.
but Free at Last Bonding did in fact send it with the correct charges as well. So they just sent that to me. So I'll forward it over to everyone, including the court. And I'm actually on the phone with College of Park Police now, verifying that he did in fact bond out already on that charge, Judge. But I'll get that over to either yourself, Judge, or either to Miss
Send it to Miss Bridgewater, be fine
Miss
with me.
Bridgewater. Will do.
Okay.
Will do.
All
And I'm
right.
sorry for
So,
interrupting.
no problem, Mr. Rowe. Good afternoon. So what you're telling me is that position number 7, we do not have to handle because he's bonded, he's made bond. And on position number 26, you're going to present a consent to me on that case. Is that correct?
That is correct. We do need to, as it relates to position number 7, the DUI, and the improper passing, we do need to make a determination though, Judge, because we have inadvertently accused it, so it has a CR number. So we will probably provide a null pros for that, Miss St. Fleur, if it was not your intention. The problem with us doing a null pros at this juncture is that we run the risk of dismissing it, and then after a certain period of time, we'll have another issue. He has a hearing in May in the city of College Park on the DUI and improper lane charge. St. Fleur, would it be your intent to transfer those up to us and we can keep the CR number?
Yes, that was going to be our intent after the May 6th, but we did plan on bonding it over to state court.
Okay, so what we can do, Miss Evans Battle, is then a signature bond on the position number 7. I believe Judge Morrow said it
That'll
was.
be position 27.
Oh, I'm sorry. Position number 27. We
Mhm.
can do a signature bond on that one so that he's not posting a bond 2 times for something he already posted a bond for, before. If that makes any sense, Judge, we'll do 2 bond orders.
Okay, so why don't you all do 2 consent bonds?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you already have a consent bond on position 26. So we need some type of consent bond on position 27. Okay,
Yes.
and that'll be fine with the court. So you work that, maybe one of you all can work that out with counsel here.
Yes, and then we can just send it while we're in court. Thank
Okay,
you.
that's fine. And as far as 26 goes, will you put the consent on the record since you have?
Yes, it is for a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial services, level 1. No further violent contact with Marcella Rates. Enroll and complete a 12-hour anger management through Operations 21. Pay any fees that are associated with that program. Have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. No further violations of the law. Thank you.
That's your understanding, Ms. St. Fleur?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Very well. The court's fine with the consent in 26, and when you all work out the consent in 27, just get it to Ms. Bridgewater. Okay?
Thank you.
Your Honor, I have no further business with the court. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good afternoon.
Thank you so much. You do the same.
Same here, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, of course, Mr. Rhodes. You have a good afternoon as well. Okay, let's see. Who do we have next? I see Mr. Murphy on the line, and I know that we have some.
2 cases in DC.
Position
Okay.
8, Your Honor. Miss Eaton.
That's mine, Judge.
Okay, good afternoon, Ms. Eaton. Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002089H with public drunk. Is there a history?
The last arrest was February 20th, 2025 out of Cobb for an FTA. There's 3 arrest cycles. There's an FTA from 2025. Appears to be on probation in Cobb for possession of Schedule I controlled substance. Nothing further.
Ms. Evans-Ballard?
Yes, Your Honor. This ended up being a dual arrest case in which she was at the location, which is the Little Five Pub. It is at 1174 Euclid. And on this particular day, they were at the location. She became involved in an argument or some type of altercation with a couple. And she was with Mr. Darius Owens at the time. And she appeared to be very boisterous, and the officer charged her he just charged her with a public drunk in this particular case. She has a prior FTA. Her bond is set at a $3,000 surety. We would ask that it just remain the same as set, that she complete an ADT and stay away from the 1174 Euclid, which is the Little Five Pub. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Murphy.
My client was down at the festival that occurred there over the weekend. I happened to be there on Saturday, and regrettably, my client did have something to drink, but she was attacked, and her wallet was taken, and she was probably a little bit annoyed therein. But she has a stable address at 1899 Whitehall Forest Court in Decatur. She's 26 years of age. She's lived here in Atlanta for the last 11 years. We'd ask for you to consider a signature bond therein. She does have secure employment with the Nature Conservatory, and she's been there approximately 3 months, Judge. And I'd like the court to consider a signature bond therein. She took the brunt of this, and she'll report to court as directed.
Okay, will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Stay away from the Euclid address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Eaton.
Judge, we appreciate the grace of the court, and she will stay away from that location. Thank you, Judge.
Up next.
18, Mr. Jones.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jones. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002102E with possession of open alcohol container, reckless driving, failure to maintain lane, driving under the influence of alcohol less safe, possession of open alcohol container, and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Yes, Your Honor. The last arrest was July 22nd, 2014 out of City of Atlanta for driving while license suspended or revoked. That is their only arrest cycle. Nothing further.
Mr. Sirocco?
Thank you, Your Honor. And I did see when we pulled up his driving history, other driving arrests and convictions, obstructing an intersection, 2018, seatbelt violation, 2018, and some others. But this incident here took place March 29th. This was this year along Old National Highway. Defendant's vehicle was observed traveling southbound on that road at a high rate of speed, swerving into the middle lane, back into the number 1 lane. Officer briefly lost visual contact with him, and had to turn around and catch up. When they finally reached up to him, he was still traveling at a high rate of speed. And then ultimately there was a stop after the initiation of sirens and lights. He was observed throwing liquid out of the driver's side window. And the vehicle was brought to a stop with his aggressive behavior. Officer had to actually initiate a felony stop, and he was uncooperative but exited the vehicle. And he was failing to follow commands there, failed to comply with any of the orders of the officer, excuse me, it was discovered from his the search of his vehicle that there was a 1,750 milliliter bottle of vodka, half empty, a 16-ounce can of Heineken that was half empty. Those were both located in the vehicle. And let's see, that is, I believe, it for this case. The state's recommendation is based on the threat, danger to the community posed by this sort of conduct. We're recommending a $5,000 total surety, $2,500 on the DUI, and $500 on the remaining 5 counts here, Judge. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Kim. Is this your case?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Jones is 33 years old. He has been here in Georgia for more than 20 years. He does have one child that he is currently paying child support. Your Honor, after getting GED, he has been trying to get electrical line education trade work. And Your Honor, he has been driving trucks and he denies the allegation. He even asked the police officer that if he can take breathalyzer test to prove that he was not drunken. He was simply not drunken, Your Honor. So DUI is not appropriate for his case. Your Honor, we would like to request for a signature on bond. If Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond because it is DUI, we ask for the lowest possible bond, maximum $1,000 surety bond for all of them. Thank you very much.
Okay, it's going to be a split bond for the DUI. It's going to be a $2,000 good bond. For each of the other charges will be a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, which makes for a total $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Jones. Courtroom 2, do we have Kenneth Edwards in the courtroom?
We do.
Can we take him next? He has a private attorney. Did you have a question, Ms. Kim?
Yes, can we have a sheriff's 10% program for this $2,000 coupon portion?
That's fine with the court.
Your Honor, while we're waiting on that next person, I know you said the DUI was a $2,000 good bond. What was the amount on the other charges?
$1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 for each charge.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Edwards. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002097E with criminal trespass and damage to property. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Yes, Your Honor. Their last arrest was July the 23rd, 2021, out of Madison, Mississippi for shoplifting. That's their only arrest cycle. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. It was our intent to offer a consent bond on this, in that we were not aware of Mr. Rivers representing Mr. Edwards. Our bond recommendation is for a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 1. No further contact with the Leah Joseph complete 1 anger management session and the law and decision-making course. No alcohol, drugs, weapons while out on bond, and no further violations of the law. This was an incident in which there was some form of a collision that occurred, and Mr. Edwards became upset. He thought Miss Joseph had hit him and ran from the situation, and he placed his hands, he hit the car that she was driving and it broke the windshield. And he was charged as a result of that.
Mr. Rivers, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Thank you for taking me today. I represent, obviously, Mr. Kenneth Edwards. Mr. Edwards is a 31-year-old individual. His ties to Atlanta are extensive. He's been in Atlanta for off and on for a solid 7 to 8 years. He does have a physical address. Mr. Edwards is a college graduate. Mr. Edwards is a registered nurse who works at Grady Hospital in the ER. In the ER division at Grady. Mr. Edwards, as it relates to the victim, he doesn't know the victim. He doesn't have any kind of relationship with the victim. So as it relates to him having any future contact with the victim, he's not going to have any future contact with the victim. At this point, at this time, we would ask that the court actually do agree to a consent bond for Mr. Edwards and the bare minimum a signature bond for Mr. Edwards, but that's our recommendation.
Okay, since we didn't have a consent bond prior to the hearing today, I'll just go ahead and issue him a bond. It will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Ms. Joseph. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Okay.
Good luck to you, Mr. Edwards.
Thank you, Your Honor. My business is complete. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good afternoon, Mr. Burton.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Who do we have next?
Number 6, Mr. Clark.
Good afternoon, Mr. Clark. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002080B with disorderly conduct and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Last arrest was December 29th, 2024, out of South Fulton for theft by shoplifting. There are 13 arrest cycles in Georgia. Misdemeanor conviction in 2018, simple battery and obstruction of obstructing someone calling 911. There's a 2019 criminal trespass, FTA in 2018 and 2019. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. This happened March the 28th. Officers were at 340 Wilmer Court Southwest, in which they ultimately charged Mr. Clark with disorderly conduct based on his behaviors towards Mr. Joel Smith, in that he was acting violent towards him and yelling, noisy, disrupting the peace in the neighborhood. When they asked him for his information, he also had a hammer in his hand. But when they asked him for his information, he was not cooperative. So we're asking for $1,000 surety as to each count, which makes for a $2,000 surety bond. Have no further contact with Joel Smith. I'm not sure if the 340 Wilma Court, I couldn't tell from the warrant if that was his address, my victim's address, and I don't see that we had any contact. Oh, just a moment. Let me make sure. No, we don't have any information from the victim to know whose location that is.
Can y'all hear me?
I'm sorry.
I am one of the roommates that stay in the house with Kastner, and Kastner is the owner.
Okay, hold on 1 minute, Mr. Jordan. First off, I need for you to be in a steady place. You are in court now.
I'm trying to get things together in the house. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I need for you to be in a steady place.
Okay, I'm in a steady place now.
Okay. Ms. Evans-Battle, I apologize. Were you done?
I am, Your Honor. I just didn't know the circumstances regarding the address. The warrant listed Mr. Smith as a neighbor at the location. Thank you.
Mr. Jordan, now if you would like to address the court, I'll need for you to raise your right hand.
Well, my right hand. Sorry.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
Kastner Clark is the owner of the house, and Joel was one of the roommates, the tenants in the house. From my understanding, he was supposed to move out March 28th. So that was the last day he was supposed to be here. So he just been here until then. So that's why all that happened. I wasn't there the day it happened though, when all that transpired. So
When's the last time did you notice that Mr. Smith was leaving the house? Did he take his belongings with him?
no, he didn't. He was just still in the house, walking around the house, But Kastner was telling him.
So he still has belongings there?
No, he has no belongings here. He didn't bring anything with him.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you being here this afternoon, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Clark is 36 years old. He has lived at the 340 Wilma Court for his entire life, and he did take over the lease more than a decade ago when his
Come on, baby.
When his parents passed away. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He works for UPS, and he has had that job for almost 3 years. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. He's charged with disorderly conduct and willful obstruction. I would request a signature bond through pretrial services. He is recommended at level 3, but although with these charges, I don't think that even a level 3 is appropriate. I would just ask for a signature bond through pretrial services at level 1. And no further contact with Joel Smith. From what I understand, he was arrested as well. And of course, I would oppose a stay away from this address. It's his home. He pays the mortgage and has been there for since he was a child.
Okay, for each charge will be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2, makes for a total of a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. No further contact with Mr. Smith, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Next is position 17.
That's my case, Judge, Miss Avas.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Ms. Avas. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002085Y with criminal trespass and damage to property, simple assault, family violence, and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Yes, Your Honor. Their last arrest was July the 5th, 2025, out of Johns Creek, for DUI and driving on suspended, canceled, or revoked registration. There are 20 arrest cycles. There appears to be an open case for possession of Schedule II controlled substance and possession use of drug-related objects under 24 SC 005701. There's a misdemeanor conviction in 2020 for criminal trespass, family violence. There's a 2020 disorderly conduct misdemeanor conviction and a 2017 theft by taking where they did a first offender and it got discharged in 2018. Nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident took place March 21st, 2026 at 4090 Brooks Bridge Crossing in Johns Creek. They made contact, officers did, with the victim, Lyudmila Protas. It's the defendant's mother, lives with her at the location. She explained the defendant had left prior to police getting there. And she was the victim sleeping in her bedroom when the defendant returned home, began banging on the bedroom door. She locks her bedroom door while she's sleeping because she told officers, is afraid of the defendant. The defendant continued banging on the door, yelling for her to unlock it. And she was upset over some sofa that belonged to the victim, that the victim had sold. And from banging on the door, she had cracked the mirror that was on the door. and also had entered the bedroom, aggressively walking towards her and yelling at her. And this is then when she told her that she would call 911. That's when the defendant grabbed her backpack and left the residence. When she was ultimately located on the 27th, she had ran from, it was roughly 4 to 5 officers, and had fled from them despite them telling her to stop. The conviction, it's criminal trespass, family violence, 20 CR 003014E from 2020. That appears to be the same victim. They may have gotten the spelling incorrect with her name, but it was a Liu name with Protoss at the end. And there was also that simple battery family violence from 2020 as well, 20 CR 003070F. That was at least most assuredly the same victim here, same location. And as you've heard, she's got some other family violence stuff going on with also disorderly conduct convictions from 2020. The victim, whom we have spoken with, did explain the defendant as a prior battery family violence case against her sister, Inessa. And we had spoken with Inessa due to a language barrier here. It's Eastern Asian, Russian, Ukrainian, and she was on the phone with police. Inessa was during the incident to translate for her mother, but it was clear the defendant broke the bedroom lock, got into her bedroom and attacked her mother. And her mother had served the defendant with eviction papers last month. She cannot return home. And the April 16th is apparently the last day she can legally be home, but she has threatened her mother. That was stated to have happened prior to this incident recently. And that was in the actual warrant itself, but Inessa is confirming that here. We did speak with Ms. Protas, and she states the defendant's aggressive, has drug abuse issues, and the defendant will not go on her own account. She's damaged her car previously, won't let her in the house. She won't let the defendant in the house, and she has evicted the defendant. She's tired of the situation. She's been dealing with it for 14 years. Defendant doesn't listen, and the defendant doesn't sleep at night. She just stays up and talks to herself. She doesn't have an opinion on bond, aside from her not wanting contact with the defendant or for the defendant to return home. I don't believe she's going to appear on Zoom today. But I did see, in addition to the history I went into a little bit, I did see a number of roughly 6 FTAs from 2025 to 2020. And the state's recommendation with the history, prior conviction against the same victim and another possible conviction against the same victim here, is a $6,000 surety, recommending $4,000 on the simple assault, family violence, and $1,000 on the obstruction and the criminal trespass each. Social worker visit for MHET and ADT as well. It appears that has something to do with this. We'd be recommending AFib. No further contact with Lyudmila Protas. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. Stay away from 4090 Brooks Bridge Crossing in Johns Creek. And no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. That is what I have for this case, Judge.
Mr. Murphy.
Judge, she's age 26. She's been Atlanta resident most of her life. She attended and graduated Chattahoochee High School. She does matriculate at a local college so she can go on and get a bachelor's degree. This was a dispute over some furniture, nothing more, nothing less. It did get a little heated, Your Honor. I'm not sure if the dispo was in fact filed. This was my client's only address, the alleged incident location. So I'd at least allow my client to, she certainly would comply with an FFIP recommendation if you'd allow a signature bond and allow her a one-time visit to vacate and get her possessions out of that premises. But it appears that she has no other resources to make a bond therein, Your Honor.
Okay, for each charge will be $1,000 good bond, makes for a total of a $3,000 good bond. Social worker visit to assess for BHET and possible housing. no further contact with the alleged victim, stay away from the incident location. She can go back to that location on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you,
Good luck
Judge.
to you.
Grace to the court. Thank you. That's all I have.
Have a good afternoon, Mr. Murphy. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Yeah, next witness, number Buff.
I didn't catch that.
2, Mr. Buff.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Barr. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002103C with simple battery against a person who is 65 or older or was pregnant at the time of the offense. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
No, Your Honor, it's showing that this is the first arrest.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Evans-Battle.
Yes, Your Honor. The information contained in the warrant indicates that this happened in January, on January 10th of 2026, when the victim reported that she had been pushed out of the car at 210 Ben Lane in Fairburn. And she indicated to the officer that she was pregnant at the time. And her name is Jewel. Let me get her full name. I just have Jewel for whatever reason. But our bond recommendation is for a $3,500 signature bond. I don't see that there was anything that was listed. Let's see. She said she didn't go to the hospital. They have another child. She's not spoken with him since. This was the first time she had called the police. She's okay with the signature bond, but she doesn't want to have any contact. And she wants a stay away order. Her name is Sahara Jewel, Sahara Jewel. And so that would be our bond recommendation.
If Ms. Hardy on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 19 years old. As you heard, this is his first arrest. He's lived in Georgia all his life. He has worked at Amazon for over 1 year. He actually does not have any children. He doesn't share children with the complaining witness. He firmly denies the allegations as stated in the warrant and states that she pulled his hair out. He has scratches and bruises still from this incident, and stated that they were outside of her home, where she said that her brother would come outside and with a gun. So he, of course, wanted her to get out of the car and wanted to leave that place. So, Your Honor, I have no objection to a signature bond through pretrial services at level 1. And they haven't had contact since January, although I spoke with Miss Jewel and she stated that she's not in fear of him, and she said she wouldn't mind having contact, but the victim advocate, I guess, told her that they couldn't have contact while the case is open. Anyway, they haven't had contact since January. So he's fine with no contact and a stay away from her address. Nothing further.
Okay, will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with the alleged victim. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Barr.
I'm sorry, number 3, Mr. Blocker.
Good afternoon, Mr. Blocker. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002071Y with criminal trespass, loitering and prowling, possession and use of drug-related objects, and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Yes, Your Honor. Their last arrest was February 10th, 2026 out of Roswell for criminal trespass, marijuana less than an ounce, possession of Schedule II controlled substance. They have 81 cycles out of Florida, 12 out of Georgia. There's there's 13 felony convictions outside the last 10-year period. There's a 2016 felony conviction for sale or delivery of counterfeit controlled substance out of Florida, a 2017 grand theft out of Florida. Nothing further to report.
Yes, Your Honor, this happened about, I think it was like 1 something in the morning on March the 28th at 1105 Holcomb Bridge Road in Roswell. He and Miss Jasmine Petty were seen by the officers at the Exxon gas station, and they were behind there. Well, of course, when the officers approached, Mr. Blocker threw a glass crack pipe on the ground. Miss Jasmine hid something in her pocket, which turns out was also, she had a pipe, and the pipe had a Brillo pad already in it. And as a result, we're asking for a bond in the amount of we're actually asking for a cash bond in this case. We also petitioned for his probation to be revoked. He has, in the last year, he has 5 cases in which he was either time served or probation and for criminal trespass, including one which also involved the same Exxon gas station. So our bond recommendation in this case is for $1,000 cash bond on the criminal trespass. We're asking for $600 on each on the loitering and the possession of drug-related objects and the possession of marijuana less than an ounce. So that would be would make up a $3,200 cash bond that we're asking. He's previously been given surety bonds and previously been given, pretrial releases. He's violated all of those conditions in there. We certainly believe that the court, by his history, could determine that he would reoffend again if he's released on bond, but because he is entitled to one, we would ask for the bond in that amount. We would ask that he stay away from the location, again, in which he's on probation to stay away from. And that would be our recommendation at this time, Your Honor.
Sorry.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Blocker is 63 years old. He does have a good mailing address in Conyers, Georgia, where his sister lives. He does live in the Roswell area. He's residentially challenged, but goes from, is able to stay in different hotels in that area. He cannot afford any bond at all. So, any cash bond or surety bond is like no bond for him. He did state to me that he has glaucoma and has an eye surgery coming up in April of 2026 at Grady. If Your Honors, if it's possible for him to have a signature bond through pretrial services, if not, I would request the lowest possible surety bond so that he can have his surgery in April.
This charge will be a $500 good bond, makes for a total of a $2,000 good bond. I want him to have an alcohol drug evaluation and any treatment that's necessary. I want him to have a social worker visit to assess for BHET and for possible housing. He is to stay away from that Exxon gas station on Holcomb Bridge Road and have no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Blocker.
Number 5, Mr. Burton.
And this is position 5, Mr. Trevor Burton, is that right?
Yes.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Burton. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002076B with theft by shoplifting and criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Their last arrest was July the 21st, 2025, out of Fulton County for an FTA. They have 74 cycles out of Georgia, 22 out of California. There's 3 felonies outside the last 10-year period. There are 12 misdemeanors outside the last 10-year period. There's a 2017 theft by shoplifting misdemeanor, 2017 possession and use of drug-related objects, 2018 disorderly conduct, 2019 criminal trespass. There are FTAs from 2019 and 2025. There appeared to be an open probation case for criminal trespass under 25 CR 002378B. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Evans Battle.
Yes, in this case, Your Honor, on March the 23rd, he was at the Barnes and Noble at 48 Fifth Street Northwest, which is in a shopping plaza. It appeared while there, he stole some keychains valued at $8 in currency. And they arrested him a couple of days later. He admitted that he had taken the merchandise from the store. He had already previously been criminal trespass from the store for same types of behavior. We're asking for a $2,000 surety. I think that's what's already said, $1,000 as for each charge. Then stay away from the 48 Fifth Street Northwest, which is the Barnes and Noble. No alcohol, drugs, weapons while out on bond. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Burton is 66 years old. I didn't see that he, I think he stated that it wasn't him and he denied taking the keychains. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. He is residentially challenged, Your Honor. I know he has arrest history, but I would ask for these charges of criminal trespass and a theft by shoplifting of allegedly 2 keychains, a signature bond through pretrial services. He has lived in Georgia for several years. He has family here. Nothing further.
Each charge will be a $500 good bond, makes for a total of $1,000 good bond. I want him to have a social worker visit to assess for a BAT and assist with housing if necessary. He's to stay away from the incident location on 5th Street and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Burton.
Next is position 13, Miss Gentry.
Good afternoon, Ms. Gentry. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002075B with battery family violence, 2 counts of simple battery family violence, and criminal trespass. Is there a history?
The last arrest was June 10th, 2025, out of Chatham County for giving an inmate prohibited item. They have 14 arrest cycles. There is a 2025 felony conviction for tampering with evidence. It appears that they're on first offender probation for that under 22 SC 183466. Misdemeanor conviction in 2025 for obstruction, 2016 reckless conduct, 2024 destroy, remove, conceal, encumber, transfer, deal with property subject to security interest. There are FTAs from 2016, 2017, and 2025. Nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Rocco.
Yes, Judge. This incident took place March 23rd, 2026 at 3761 Rockport Place in Atlanta. There was a domestic dispute call that officers responded to, and the caller and victim here, Miss Kimberly Latson, explained to officers that the defendant, her girlfriend who previously lived with her, had attacked her. She had swelling on her upper left eye that was visible to officers here and documented as well. 30 minutes prior to the officers getting there, she explained that there was there was another incident that occurred, excuse me, the incident occurred further up the street. It was closer to 479 Oakside Drive. She drove past the defendant and a male named Stink. And there was a verbal dispute that ensued over cheating allegations. And they all exited their vehicles. The dispute turned physical, and Stink had held her down while the defendant attacked her. We don't have the ID of this individual, just his alias here. And at some point, the defendant had bit Miss Latson on the face, also grabbed and pulled her hair, and there was that mark on her face that officers observed. The Additionally, there was the defendant was caught on video walking in the direction of the victim's vehicle, and it was subsequent to this. She was walking there with an item, an object in her hand. There was a loud noise, a shattering noise, and then she's seen walking away on video without said object in her hand. And that would be to Miss Latson's Kia Sorrento. And we did speak with Miss Latson. She explained they were together for a year, and they don't share any children. This is the second incidence of violence between them. She had caught the defendant cheating also the day before New Year's, 2026, and there was an incident at that time. But a lot of this, she says, was also the third party, whom we don't have a positive ID for yet. And police were not called for the previous incident. They were trying to work on the getting back together when the defendant was caught cheating a second time, and that from there everything escalated. She confirmed the events in the warrant, and confirmed that the defendant busted out her passenger window. She has gotten it fixed, and she would like the defendant to have a signature bond, and she would like contact with the defendant. She does want to make a statement here today. The state's recommendation, with her history of FTA, is with this not being the first physical altercation here between the two, which gives us cause for concern and for failing to appear. Cause concern for her safety here is a $5,000 total surety. We're recommending $2,000 on the battery, family violence, $1,000 on each simple battery, family violence, and criminal trespass. 3 days anger awareness. No further contact with Kimberly Latson. Stay away from 3761 Rockport Place, Southwest in Atlanta, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. If we could sound for Miss Latson.
Kimberly Latson is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. I need for you to come on camera, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. If you can raise your right hand for me, please.
Yes, sir.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court, ma'am?
I just wanted to see how can I go by dropping the charges against Miss Gentry. Is situation did get out of hand that we both, made a mistake, and she really doesn't deserve to be sitting in there. And honestly speaking, like I would have wanted to have a signature bond so she come home and be with her kids. And to Miss Gentry, I apologize. I will like is I apologize for everything that's going on. And Judge, I apologize to y'all as well, because it really shouldn't have never got to this far, But I just pray and hope that y'all will give her a chance and release her so she can be home with her kids.
Please call to the scene, Ms. Latson.
Say it again, sir.
Were the police called to the scene?
Well, yes, the guys, the mechanic shop that we was at, the guys called the police, and by the police coming to the scene, it was basically they called her because they were saying that she came on the property and damaged my vehicle on their property, which I wasn't worried about. We had our incident beforehand, but I wasn't worried about. But when they called the individuals, that's when the officer seen my face and I explained to him what happened. But I wasn't the one called the police. the gentleman who was at the shop, the one called the police and showed us the videos and everything, but I really don't want to take further action in it. I got everything fixed. I really love Miss Gentry. Like, I care for Miss Gentry, and I care about her well-being, everything. Like, and like I said, I apologize for everything that's going on, what happening. And if you please can give her an opportunity, a chance, where she can come home and be with her kids.
So prior to the criminal trespass, you're telling the court that there was some type of physical altercation between you and Miss Gentry at a different location?
It was all in the same facility.
Okay, and tell me what happened.
Well, I caught Miss Gentry. Well, we was at the mechanic shop. Miss Gentry was on the phone with the guy who she was already dealing with, cheating with. So she had the guy, he got me on the phone listening to everything that she's saying or whatever, but I seen him up the road, and things just got like just physically. Like, it should
Okay,
never happen.
tell me what happened. It got physical. What happened?
We got to fighting, and the guy, he held me down, and that's what happened.
And this happened on the 28th?
I pulled her hair. I pulled her hair. She pulled my hair.
Right. I appreciate you being here this afternoon, Ms. Latson.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, it also came to my attention in the report here, the individual that the defendant was supposedly cheating with had eventually pulled out a black firearm, possibly a 9mm, and pointed at her. That was reported as well. This is a much scarier incident from the warrant and from
not Miss Gentry. Miss Gentry didn't. Miss Gentry didn't. The
Right.
guy Stank did.
I said that, ma'am.
Okay. Nothing further, Mr. Sirocco. Yes, Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor, Miss Gentry is 36 years old. She has lived in Georgia all her life. She has an address in Atlanta, Georgia, and tells me that she's lived at the same address for 6 years. She says that she hasn't had any FTAs. And because I asked her, if you've had the same address for 6 years, so she says that she hasn't had any FTAs. She does work at a staffing company, and Your Honor, she does have 6 minor children, ages 17, 16, 10, 9, 8, and 2. They do live with her, and she is the sole caregiver for the children. I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services, and no violent contact with Miss Latson, and nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. Given that this only happened a couple of days ago, I don't think there's been a sufficient cooling off period. So at this point in time,
Your Honor, I'm sorry. The affidavit states that this incident occurred March 23rd.
calendar has an offense date of the 28th. So well, that would still just be another week. Regardless, for the battery, it's going to be $1,000 good bond. For each of the other charges, it's going to be a $500 good bond. Makes for a total of a $2,500 good bond. At this point in time, no further contact with Ms. Latson. Either Ms. Latson or Ms. Gentry will have to leave the residence if they cannot have any contact. I'll give her a one-time escort to either verify that Ms. Latson does not live at the residence or gather her belongings and find someplace else to live in the meantime. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you all. Who do we have next?
Number 7, Mr. Dean.
Good afternoon, Mr. Dean. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002083A with criminal trespass and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Yes, Your Honor. The last arrest was September 15th, 2025 out of Gwinnett for criminal trespass. There's 14 total cycles. with arrests out of Georgia and New York. Misdemeanor conviction in 2025 for obstruction and fleeing and attempting to elude. Out of New York, there's a 2022 misdemeanor conviction for criminal trespass. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Ms. Evans Battle.
Yes, Your Honor. This happened March the 28th at 526 Ponce de Leon Avenue, in which the officer was able to make contact with Mr. Dean. The staff at McDonald's had asked him to leave the premises because he had been there for a couple of hours and had not purchased anything. He indicated that he was a customer and refused to leave. They had to physically escort him out of the business. And after they did so, he refused to give officers his name and other identifying information. Our bond recommendation is for a $1,000 surety bond. That's $500 on each count. That he stay away from the 526 Ponce de Leon location, meet with the social worker regarding housing and BHET.
Thank you. Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Dean is 29 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He does have family here. He is recommended for a signature bond at level 2. I would ask for these charges for the criminal trespass and willful obstruction for a signature bond through pretrial services at level 2, Your Honor.
He has housing issues, Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor. He is residentially challenged, but he stated that he gets mail at the Atlanta Mission and that he will be able to report to pretrial services and stay away from that McDonald's.
So for each charge, it's going to be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, makes for a total of a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. I do want him to have a social worker visit to assess for VHET and assist with any housing needs. Stay away from that McDonald's on Ponce. Excuse me, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Dean.
Bullins, next.
Say it again for me, please.
Number 12, Mr. Bullins.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Fullins. You've been charged in case 26 CR 002101F with battery, family violence, interference with custody, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was September the 28th, 2025, out of City of Atlanta for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. They have 3 cycles. There was an FTA from 2025. Nothing further.
Seventh battle.
Yes, and also had a violation of probation. I thought that may have been from 2025. March the 28th of 2026, the officers went to 3215 Cushman Circle Southwest in reference to a dispute. They were flagged down by the victim. Her name is Jasmine Harris, who indicated that the child's father had punched her in the face and left a mark on her lip. She also indicated that she was frantic because he had taken the child. She is the person who has sole full custody of the child. He was not authorized to take the child and took the child without permission. The Family Violence Act occurred in front of the child, therefore, or in the presence of the child. So he's been charged for the cruelty to children as well. Our bond recommendation is for $6,500 surety bond. We are concerned for the safety of everybody involved, including this child. The Brown bond breakdown would be $3,500 for the battery and $1,500 for the interference with custody and $1,500 for cruelty to children. Have no further contact with Jasmine Harris. The incident location is 3215 Cushman Circle. In this particular case, we are also asking if, I'm not sure if the defendant would ask for third-party contact, but the state's position would be that if the child's in the custody of the mother, whatever position she takes on it, and that we would not interfere with it at this time. Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Harris is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Bullins is 23 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He does work for a moving company. He states that the 2-year-old child, that he signed the birth certificate, and he is the father of that child and has always had contact with the child. Your Honor, he's had 3 cycles. I believe he does qualify for a signature bond through pretrial services. Although he works, he doesn't have significant funds to pay a bond. And Your Honor, he is held on, it looks like, as Ms. Evans Battle stated, a probation violation for a marijuana charge. So he's still not getting out of custody immediately. But I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services. And I would, I'm not sure if the victim advocate has been in touch with with the complaining witness in this case, but that address, 3215 Cushman Circle, he tells me is his dad's address, and she doesn't live there and has never lived there. So I would ask for a law enforcement escort to verify that she doesn't live there rather than a stay away, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Okay, for the battery will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the other charges, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Ms. Harris. He can have a one-time escort to the Cushman Circle, police escort to the Cushman Circle address. If Ms. Harris does not reside there, he can remain there. Third-party transfer of the minor child for visitation, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Bullins.
All right, next we got Mr. 22, Mr. Murray.
Your Honor, I believe Miss Murray, there's a Miss Murray Muse who I asked if she's not on this calendar. I think we need an add-on calendar for her at ACDC. Unless it's been null prost or.
So this is a dual arrest, is what you're telling me, Mr.
No,
Tony?
Your Honor,
No?
this is a different Murray, but since she got up when they called Murray, I think that's Miss Murray Muse.
Okay, so in courtroom 2, I have Mr. William Murray. Is that right?
Your Honor.
Okay, so why don't we take Mr. Murray, and then what are you telling me about ACDC here? I'm sorry, Mr. Ty.
Sorry, Your Honor, that is Miss Murray Muse, and she is not.
Oh, okay. She's not on the calendar.
But she should
Okay.
be.
So while we're doing Mr. William Murray, can somebody figure out for me what's going on with
Hold on,
young-
I might be able to advise. Let me just confirm really quickly, and I'll let you know. Yeah, that was
NOD.
we issued an NOD for that, Judge.
Okay.
I thought we were talking about the other Murray. Thank you.
All right. So the young lady that is an ACDC, your case has been dismissed, ma'am. If you don't have anything holding you, then you will be released as soon as the jail can process you out. Okay. Good luck to you, ma'am. And yes, Mr. Murray, good afternoon to you. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002092B with 2 counts of battery family violence and simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Yes, Your Honor. Their last arrest was April 26, 2025, out of Douglas County for possession of Schedule II controlled substance and possession of methamphetamine. They have 15 total cycles with one arrest out of Georgia, 14 out of Pennsylvania. There's a 2018 felony conviction for retail theft, 2019 misdemeanor giving false info to law enforcement. Also in 2018, disorderly conduct. There's a 2016 criminal trespass. There appears to be a hold out of Pennsylvania for an FTA, and the date of that warrant is July 3rd, 2024. I'm sorry, Your Honor. That history was for the young lady. The Mr. Murray, he just has one cycle. Mr. Murray just has the one cycle. August 14th, 1983 was his last arrest, and it was for DUI out of APD. Nothing further.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Siraka.
Thank you, Your Honor. So this incident took place, this was just 2 days ago, March 28th, 2026, 850 Piedmont Avenue, Northeast in Atlanta. Officers responded there and spoke with the victim here, Miss Mirja Murray, Mirja. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's the defendant's wife. They live together at the location. She stated that her husband had been drinking and in a moment of anger struck her in the face. The officer observed a large swollen mark on her forehead, which was forming into a sizable knot, swelling, bruising here. And she explained that he had, just with respect to the defendant in general, at different times in their relationship, become aggressive to the point of violence. There was a 2016 incident where she sustained stitches, yet she was somehow subject to arrest there. But he had, in this instance, or the defendant had hit her here, and it's, we did speak with her. They have been married for 30 years and don't share children. She confirmed the events in the warrant, confirmed this is not the first time this has happened, and there have been multiple incidents. This has happened, she approximates, roughly 5 times in the past 15 to 20 years. And it's the assessment of our office that she is in a great deal of danger here. She stated she did previously get stitches in her head from a prior incident with the defendant. And there's alcohol that's always involved in these incidents, and she's called the police before. And she does not want contact. She says he can return home because he may not have anywhere else to go. We're not by any means comfortable with that. Excuse me, but that, I mean, in large part, we have seen the injuries here, and they are bad, Judge. They are really, really bad. It's akin to possible orbital fracture. We'll be looking in further into those injuries and her treatment from the hospital. And she went to Grady here, Judge. But they're bad. We are incredibly concerned for her safety. And we're recommending a $7,000 surety, $3,000 for each battery family violence, and $1,000 on the simple battery family violence. We're recommending AFib, stay away from 850 Piedmont Avenue, Northeast in Atlanta. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. No further contact with Miss Murray here, Mirja Murray. And we recommend as well random screens for drugs and alcohol, with this being another alcohol-induced incident, one of several. If we could sound for Miss Murray.
Ms. Murray, I see you on the line. If you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. You certainly do not have to, but if you would like to address the court, I would need for you to activate your camera, unmute yourself, and I will swear you in.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I need for you to come on camera for me.
Okay. All right. I just was exercising, so I'm a little sweaty here, but anyway,
Hold on, Miss Murray. Raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court, ma'am?
Well, I don't know who this man who was talking before, but I respectfully disagree about some things, like that there's been multiple things. I have just said there's been fighting and some violence and like pulling pulling me from the chair, and I've had some rock burns like in my butt or so forth. And but I'm not afraid of him, and I think I would like him to come home. And he works from home, and we've been like 30 years together. And I think I would count maybe 5 times have been a little bit physical, and I have been fighting back too. 5 times in 30 years. So my opinion, I'm okay for him to come home, and I can maybe some anger management or something like that would be appropriate.
So the police were called to the scene, is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
And
Yes.
who
Well,
called?
that's true. That's true. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Interrupting you.
no, you're fine. Who called the police?
My neighbor, because I couldn't find my phone, and I believe my husband took it so that I couldn't call. But so I went to the neighbor.
And tell me what happened that necessitated you needing to call the police.
Well, because he hit me in the face.
Anything else you'd like to tell the court?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Murray. We appreciate you being here. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Murray is 69 years old. He was born in Tennessee. However, he has been here in Georgia for more than 50 years. Your Honor, he has a bachelor's degree from UGA. His major was journalism. He has a license to be a broadcaster for the radio. I guess back then they had to have a license to do that. Your Honor, my client denies the allegation. He strongly prefers to have a no further violent contact. They have been married for 30 years, and it was the other way around. Actually, it was complaining witness who was drunken, and my client was basically struck by his the other way around. I was wondering if we can get signature on bond. This is his first violence related arrest ever, and the other arrest for DUI was so remote, and we asked for no further violent contact.
Okay, well, I'm not going to order no further violent contact. If there are allegations both ways, I think that at this point in time that there's to be no further contact until this is worked out in some way. As for the bond for each battery, will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. For the simple battery, will be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. Makes for a total of a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. I want him to begin the family violence intervention program. At this point in time, he's to have no further contact with the alleged victim. He is to stay away from the incident location. He can go back to that location on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you both.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we got 28, Mr. Redmond.
I didn't catch that last position.
28, Mr. Redmond, I believe.
Redmond.
Good afternoon, Mr. Redmond. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002096L with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Yes, Your Honor. Their last arrest was November the 2nd, 2013, out of Clayton for burglary and theft by taking. There are 18 arrest cycles, arrests out of Georgia and New Jersey. They have a FTA from 2000, misdemeanor conviction for criminal trespass in 2004, the 2014 burglary. Nothing further to report.
Seventh battle.
Yes, Your Honor. This happened March the 28th at 3507. I have Interkin Enterkin Lane in South Fulton. It appeared that the defendant and the victim returned from a bar and they were showering together. The victim got out and the defendant threw a shampoo or body wash bottle at her, striking her in the back of the head. She, in return, threw a ring box at him. And so he stepped out of the shower and punched her in the face, leaving her face bruised and swollen and bloody. Our bond recommendation is for a good bond. We're asking for a $2,500 good bond. Have no further contact at this time with Chanel Davis, and stay away from the incident location. No alcohol, drugs, weapons while out on bond. And I want to see if she had reached out.
She's on the
She is, okay
she's on the
then.
line.
All right then, thank you. And court can hear from the victim, but our position would remain the same. Thank you.
Ms. Davis, if you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity. If you choose to, I'll need for you to raise your right hand for me. Ms. Davis, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. I swear.
Okay. You can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
I would like to tell the court that I did have an opportunity to talk to Jamal prior to him being arrested, and he did explain that that wasn't his intention, that he was talking with his hands, and his body wash, flew, and that's how it hit me, and that's how I retaliated. That is my fiance. That's somebody I do plan to marry. Our conversation just got heated, and I hate that it ever happened. Do not want him to be in jail. That's no place for him to be. So if you would consider definitely letting him out, that would be great so we can get on with our lives.
Has this ever happened before?
No, sir.
Okay. And tell me how this incident escalated to a point where I take it that you found it necessary to call the police?
Well, it was mainly me asking him to leave so that we could cool off. And I just said, I'm gonna call them so they could remove you from the home. And when they came and assessed the situation, they felt like he needed to go to jail. And I was asking them not to take him, because it affects, his job and everything else. So, but they made their own decision.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Davis. I appreciate you being here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, his last name is Redmon, so he's Redmond, not Redman, Your Honor. So we have to correct that part at the LEC. He is 46 years old, and Your Honor, he does have one son who is 7 years old. He's working really hard as a truck driver, and he sends out lots of money to his child. Financially, he's responsible for that. He is, Your Honor, he denies the allegation. There was no intention of any kind of physical violence at all. And Your Honor, he wants to have a no further violent contact. I believe they live together, and yet they don't have any child together. He graduated from high school, and other than that, he's very healthy. There's no other issues. We would like to request for signature on bond through pretrial, no matter what level it is, and also no further violent contact.
It will be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, no further violent contact with Ms. Davis, no drugs, alcohol, weapon while out on bond. Good luck to you both.
And on number 1, Mr. Allen.
And tell me the last name. I have the add-on is Corano James.
That is regular number 1, Allen.
Is there a second add-on calendar?
There it is. That's an add-on calendar. Do it. Just regular add-on, regular one, number one right now.
Judge, he's calling the first case, Jarius Allen on the regular calendar.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So it's not the add-on. I'm sorry. I was confused. So this is Jarius Allen on the regular calendar, position number 1. Mr. Allen, you've been charged in case 26 CR 002070G with theft by taking and simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
No, Your Honor, we're showing that this is the first arrest.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. In this particular case, it happened March the 28th at 205 Jesse Hill Drive, Southeast. The victim in the case is Delirious, Dayleris Rodriguez. And it indicated that she chased Mr. Allen and she struck him. And thereafter, he hit her with an open hand in front of the police officers. It appeared she climbed up onto a vehicle and was stomping on the windshield, fractured the glass. She was placed under arrest as well. Both the parties admitted that they had hit each other. Mr. Allen is alleged to have taken her phone, in which he admitted that he was alleged to have taken her phone from her, and the parties apparently lived together. Our bond recommendation is for a $3,000 signature bond. That will be $1,500 as to each charge. That it be at pretrial services level 1, that he complete 3 anger awareness classes in the law and decision-making course. No further contact with the victim at this particular time. And I believe maybe because she was arrested, we don't have any victim contact at this particular time.
Okay.
No drugs or weapons.
And was she, do you know what she was charged with, Ms. Evans-Battle?
No, I'm not.
This is Jared's dad on the line.
Oh, you're her father?
No, this is Jarius Allen's dad.
Oh, okay. No, Your Honor.
Okay, yeah, I'll be with you,
that.
sir. Okay.
Thank you.
So has she been on the calendar previous? I'm just wondering.
I didn't see her, but while we were talking, I'll see if I can locate her to see if she was brought into our jail.
And yes, Mr. Allen, do you have something that you would like to tell the court or inform the court of?
Yes, I'm here because I found out about an incident with my son, the car that was damaged.
Do you have any? Okay, we can work all that out at a later time. If you have some firsthand knowledge, I'm happy to hear that. But if you're telling me this through someone else, then we'll wait for later. This is only a bond hearing this afternoon.
Okay.
All right. I appreciate you being here, though.
Okay.
Yes, Ms. Atai.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Allen is 23 years old. As you heard from pretrial, this is his very first arrest. He denies the allegations as stated in the warrant, although the warrant states that the alleged victim here, chased him, struck him, stomped on his windshield until it broke, and that she was arrested. I did not see an arrest for her, but he does tell me that this is his father's vehicle, Your Honor, you heard what happened. I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services at level 1, and I would object to anger awareness and the law and decision making. I would ask for, I don't know, 205 Jesse Hill Junior Drive. I don't know what that address is, but I guess I don't know if she wants contact or not, but I would think that Your Honor would order no further contact, which is fine, but just as long as he can return home. Nothing
Okay,
further.
so I'm just trying to figure out the Jesse Hill Drive address. So
I don't think we didn't ask for a stay away because I think that they were at a public location.
Okay, all right. So, and they don't live together.
No.
Okay.
Well,
all
I
right.
do have, I'm the owner of the vehicle.
Well,
okay.
Neither one of them have a place to live. They were using the vehicle to live and work. So with the vehicle being destroyed, they no longer have any place to live or work.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Bellamy. I appreciate it.
Chestnut.
All right. Given that
Hello. That's my little brother, Jarius Allen.
Okay, I'm about to give him a signature bond. So unless you have something that that might dissuade me from that, Mr. Allen, I'll let you all work all this out down the road. For the theft, it'll be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the simple battery, a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from her residential address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. I appreciate all y'all being here. Y'all have a good afternoon. Good luck to you, Mr. Allen.
Next is position 6, Miss Hughes.
What position is this?
16, Your Honor, 1-6.
Okay. Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Hugh. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002081A with battery and simple battery. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was August 27th, 2025 out of Union City for criminal trespass and battery family violence. They have a felony conviction from 1994 for financial transaction card theft. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Mr. Soraka?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident was from March 28th, 2026. It was at 7855 Cedar Grove Road in Union City. Before I proceed, it may appear as a battery and a simple battery. I did file down amended accusations. It's a battery family violence and simple battery family violence, Judge. And I sent the court notice. They responded to that location after there was a fight heard by the downstairs neighbor, who reported it. And they made contact with the victim, Mr. Derek Prather, the defendant's boyfriend. They lived together. They allowed officers inside. Mr. Prather came outside and explained what happened. He was a caterer, and he explained he was working on a major order. As he was preparing his client's order, defendant had come home, did not know if she was intoxicated, but he continued to work on the order. She was and became visibly upset after finding out the manager of that catering order was female, and accused him of having an affair. And while they were arguing, defendant knocked over a table with his order, spilling rice everywhere. And there was a physical altercation wherein there was a grabbing of the victim's neck. He sustained scratch marks from that. We have spoken with Mr. Prather. They've been together for almost 4 years, he says, and living together consistently for 1 year. but on and off prior. They don't share any children. He states the defendant's been going through a lot lately with the loss of a son and another son that deals with MH. And then there was an injury to another son. And the defendant came home and just broke down with, it sounds more like unraveled to me, but due to everything that's been going on. And there was a knocking over a table, banging on a door, and the defendant was being loud, prompting someone to call the police. He's claiming they were never physical, despite the injuries that officers observed. He says the scratches are a result of him being a chef and carrying things with his forearms. Now that's contrary to the statements made at the time. And also, he had stated at the time that the scratches may have come from her grabbing at his neck while they were arguing, and then that later that he slipped, and that's where the scratches could have come from. And now we're hearing from him that it's a result of him being a chef and carrying things with his forearms. So multiple different accounts of how he got these scratches from a clear dispute here. He says, excuse me, he wants the defendant to have a signature bond. He's okay with contact, and says the defendant can go to her brother's house, so she has a place to stay. He's okay with her returning to the home as well. But with her history of family violence cases here, of which I see at least 3, and we don't have the dispositions on these. Most recently, August 27th of last year, the state's recommendation out of concern for the victim's safety here is going to be a $5,000 surety bond. We're recommending $3,000 on the battery family violence and $2,000 on the simple battery family violence. 3 days anger awareness, no further contact with Mr. Derek Prather. Again, this is just an incident that took place 2 days ago. There's not been a sufficient cooling off period. We're recommending a stay away as well from the 7855 Cedar Grove Road address in Union City, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. If we could sound for Mr. Prather.
I see you there. If you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity. I'll need for you to raise your right hand for me, please, sir.
Sir.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down, Mr. Prather. What would you like to tell the court?
No, it just when he was wording about injuries and stuff, like I said, I didn't have any injuries to my body. I am a chef. I work a lot. I have, as you see, I have a swollen wrist. Sometimes I carry stuff on my forearms. I'm a chef. I got new bruise today on my forearm from carrying stuff. I'm real light skinned. So the impression to be on my body for a while, if I'm carrying like 40, 50 pounds or something, to save my wrist.
Okay. Were the police called to the scene?
I didn't call her and she didn't call me. It came because I guess with the loud noise of her raising her voice or crying out.
So tell me.
Been going through a lot.
Tell me what happened. Tell me what happened.
Basically, she came in. She went in the back room. She was relaxing, and she came in the living room. She was just upset and breaking down. And the last time she did that, it was right before the trial for her son. And she lost her mother, her son, and her sister all in the same year. And she left with a son that's dealing with mental health and stuff. Can't get him on track. He's grown. It's hard to get help. And then she had one son who was a victim of a gunflip wound, and he survived. But that woman's going through a lot. And she didn't put her hands on me. I didn't put her hands on her. She has a hard time accepting what's going on with her life. Right? You know, she's dealing with it. Some days, she had a lot of good days, but that's the bad day. Unfortunately, it's an apartment. When we lived in a house before we moved there, there was no problem for her to go into the other room and let all that energy and stress out. I wish no one to lose a child. And and it's just sad for her to be went through what she went through. And she's cry out sometimes, she get loud, knock over things. I'd rather her do that than hurt herself. Table ain't nothing. Them objects can be replaced, but she can't. And what she's going through is hard, you know. She's not a bad person at all.
All right, thank you, Mr. Prather. I appreciate you being here this afternoon.
Yes, I have one more, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
When the officer, every time I tell him it's no problem, she's just loud and then now. They say it's state law. I understand they doing a job, but I don't understand how they could just like try to create an incident like that, trying to make someone say that they was abused or somebody did something to them, instead of it was like really seeing what the situation is with a person.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Prather.
Doing their job, but they seemed like they was unhuman attached to what was going on and what I was asking or saying to them.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yes,
yes, Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Hugh is 48 years old. She has lived in Georgia all her life. She did state that her mother and her, she's had a lot of personal tragedy recently. And as you heard from the complaining witness, she has one son who recently passed, one son who's been shot, and one son who struggles with mental health issues. More importantly, Your Honor, the complaining witness advised me that he told the police, a neighbor called the police, and he told the police that nothing happened at that time, that she didn't touch him. And, it was just loud noises that caused the neighbor to call the police. He stated that the police advised him that by state law, someone had to be arrested. But Your Honor, I would ask for a signature bond in this case through pretrial services, no violent contact with Mr. Prather, and I would object to the stay away.
$2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. With the simple battery, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2 makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. I do think that she could benefit from the Family Violence Intervention Program, so I will order that she begin that. No further violent contact with Mr. Prather, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you both.
Judge, I'm sorry, you said pretrial 2, correct?
That's correct. Yes, Ms. Grace. Okay, who do we have next? Courtroom 2.
Position number 4, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Brown. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002068Y with theft by shoplifting. Is there a history? I'm sorry.
Yes, Your Honor. Their last arrest was January 29th, 2026 out of Brookhaven for a probation violation. There's 41 arrest cycles, arrests out of Georgia and Michigan. There's a 2022 felony conviction for theft by receiving, possession of methamphetamine, a 2024 felony conviction, criminal attempt to commit a felony, 2020 misdemeanor criminal trespass, 2022 and 2019 theft by shoplifting, FTA from 2019, 2024, and 2025. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Battle.
Yes, this happened at Ross, 2625 Piedmont Road on March the 28th. He took a set of headphones, JBL headphones, less than $500. The store was able to retrieve the property because this actually would be a felony if we were to move forward with the transfer, and the state at this point is deciding to keep the case. Here, we're asking for a bond in the amount of $1,000 surety, and that he stay away from the location at the 2625 Ross store. Have a social worker visit for housing as well as for BHET. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Brown, he has lived in Georgia for the last 8 years. He did graduate from high school. He tells me that he served in the Navy and was honorably discharged. I realize he has history, but he recently did have a surgery on his elbow. It was shattered. He states that he was attacked with an aluminum bat, Your Honor. So he is still recovering from that surgery. He stated that he has 31 staples in his elbow and has follow-up appointments coming up at Grady. For this theft by shoplifting, I would request a signature bond through pretrial services, even if it is at level 2, so that he can receive necessary treatment for his recent injury and surgery. Nothing further.
Does he have issues with housing, Ms. Atai?
He does, Your Honor. He's residentially challenged, but he states that he does have a local address, a family's home where he receives mail. The Sylvan Road address, Your Honor.
Given his history, I don't feel comfortable giving him a signature bond, but what I will do is, and I want him to have a social worker visit to assess for a BHET and assist him with housing. I'm not going to make him wait 2 weeks for the SAP calendar. Ms. Bridgewater, I would like to place him on the SAP calendar on the 7th, which is a week after next. So at this time, it's going to be $1,000 good bond. I want them to have a social worker visit to assess for BHET and housing and report back to me at the SAP calendar. If he's not released by that time, I'll reconsider the bond if we can, if I can get some information from the social worker. Obviously, stay away from the Ross on Piedmont Road. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you, Mr. Brown.
All right, number 20, Mr. Kendricks.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kendricks. You've been charged in case 26 CR 002090J with battery family violence, battery against a female who is pregnant, and simple battery family violence. Is there a history?
No, Your Honor, no history to report at this time.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco?
Yes, Judge. This incident took place March 28th, so just 2 days ago at 1133 Huff Road in Atlanta. Officers were dispatched in reference to a dispute with injuries at the location. Upon arrival, they did speak with the victim, in this case, Miss Aliyah Knight, defendant's girlfriend. They lived together. And they also share a 1-year-old child. Additionally, she is 5 months pregnant. She explained that she had arrived home around 9:45 on March 27th, so the night prior, after being out with a friend. And when she entered the unit, the defendant was irate, tried to take her phone. Things got physical, and he had grabbed and pulled her, causing her to fall against the glass television stand, causing her to have a laceration on her left calf that officers observed. And when she explained that he had fled the unit, she had fled the unit, and she wasn't able to grab her phone or her daughter to take either with her. She stated when asked that she feared for her daughter's safety due to being the only custodial parent her daughter has around, and confirmed that she was pregnant at the time with the defendant's child, and been in a relationship for 2 to 2.5 years, and that the defendant has had a history of physical violence, but she's never called the police and hasn't been locked out of the unit before. Her daughter was still in the unit, but only wished to, excuse me. When asked if the defendant had a firearm, she stated he does, but she doesn't know the location of the firearm in the unit. We have not been able to speak with the victim in this case yet. We will continue those efforts, Judge. But with the facts here and with what's been alleged, we are recommending, out of concern for her safety, a $4,000 surety. This did take place only 2 days ago, and did involve her while she was pregnant. $1,500 on the battery family violence and $1,500 on the battery against a pregnant female. $1,000 on the simple battery family violence. We are recommending FFIB. We think that could benefit him here. No further contact with Elia Knight. Stay away from that 1133 Huff Road address in Atlanta. And no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. If we could sound for Ms. Knight, I'm not sure if that's you with the iPhone, but if we could sound for Ms. Knight.
Ms. Knight is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Yes, ma'am. If you'll raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes, ma'am. What would you like to tell the court?
Yes, sir. I am actually Ladarian's mom, Terica Horn. We've been in contact with the victim. She have advised she actually moved to Miami, Florida with her aunt, she and Alora. She wishes to continue to have contact with Ladarian due to the fact that they do share custody of the kids. So she's no longer in the residence. Her and the daughter have moved away. And because they do share children, she would like for them to continue to contact. She have asked how he's doing, if he's okay. So she's not the only custodial parent. They both share the child as well.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you being here this afternoon.
You're welcome.
Yes, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 27 years young. He's been here in Georgia for the last 3 years. They do have a one child together. He graduated from high school in 2017. Ever since then, he's been working as a security guard. Your Honor, this is his first arrest. We asked for signature on bond through pretrial level 1. And Your Honor, he does not own any firearm. And my client, oh, I apologize. That was my mistake. He does own a firearm, but he was not used. She attacked my client first, and my client was only doing his self-defense. We asked for no contact, stay away is completely okay in this case, Your Honor, as long as he can get third-party transfer for his children.
Okay, for each of the batteries will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the simple battery, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Ms. Knight. He can go back to the Huff Road apartment with law enforcement. If she does not reside there, he can remain there. If she is still there, then he'll have to gather his belongings and find somewhere else to reside. Third-party transfer of any minor children for visitation. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you both.
Your Honor, if I can ask you, because I don't know, we've never been in this situation. What is the bond you were stating? Do I need to pay anything?
No, it's a signature bond, ma'am. So he'll be able to sign himself out.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Who do we have next?
21, Mr. Hughes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mills. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002091F with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was February 21st, 2026, out of Fulton County for criminal trespass and giving false info to law enforcement. And that case is open under 26 CR 001209F. There are 67 arrest cycles. There's another open case for entering auto and theft by taking under 25 SC 007358. Felony conviction 2021 for possession of Schedule II controlled substance and forgery. There's a 2024 misdemeanor theft by shoplifting, 2016 criminal trespass, 2017 criminal trespass, FTA from 2017, 2023, and 2025. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco.
Yes, Your Honor. The incident here took place March 29th, 2026, 232 Forsyth Street Southwest. It's the Greyhound bus station in Atlanta. Officers were flagged down by an individual who had been previously criminally trespassed, and that is certainly an understatement. They recognized him. It was the defendant. Several criminal trespass warnings and arrests at this location. In addition to that open case in which he's in violation of bond here, ordered to stay away from the Greyhound bus station, case ending in 1209F. And that was ordered February 23rd, 2026, Judge. He's also in violation of probation under two cases, the 26 CR 000439F, criminal trespass at the same location, and the other criminal trespass at the same location, 21 CR 004264F. He was ordered by Your Honor with probation in those two cases to stay away from the 232 address. He was just released yesterday, looks like, and he went right back for those reasons and for the bevy of criminal trespasses and FTAs, also 2025, 2023, 2017. We're recommending a $4,000 surety here, Judge. A social worker visit for BHET and maybe at this point MHET. Stay away from 232 Forsyth Street in Atlanta, that Greyhound bus station. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
So I can clarify, Mr. Sirocco, I gave him a signature bond and told him to stay away from that Greyhound bus station previously.
Let me see. On this one, it was part of your order of probation, Judge, but let me see. This that was Judge Williams' order to stay away from the Greyhound bus station in the most recent open case, ending in 1209F. But your case, the one that you handled, the two that you handled, ending in 0439F and 4264F. He's in violation of probation there.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Mills is 44 years old, born and raised here in Georgia, Your Honor. After 11th grade, he actually got his GED. And I believe that he does need a social worker visit for housing and BHET. Actually, our social worker is here, so he will be getting resources. We ask that criminal trespass $1,000 surety bond to be remain set if you are not give him a signature on bond. That's all we have, Your Honor.
All right, well, something's obviously going on with Mr. Mills that we need to assess so he doesn't keep coming back. At this point in time, it will be a $2,000 good bond. I want him to have a social worker visit to assess for BHET and housing. Obviously, stay away from the Greyhound bus station. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. All right, good luck to you, Mr. Mills.
Thank you.
Number 24, Ms. Parker.
Good afternoon, Mr. Parker. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002095Y with possession of marijuana less than an ounce and criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Their last arrest was January 28th, 2026 out of Houston County for identity theft. There are 3 arrest cycles. They have 2 open cases here in Fulton. There's a simple battery against someone who is pregnant under 24 CR 007210Y, and then simple assault family violence and simple battery family violence under 25 CR 006353Y. Nothing further.
Mr. Rocco?
Your Honor, this was March 29th incident, 2460 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, Southwest in Atlanta. It's the Touchdown Wings restaurant. The defendant had returned there after having been criminally trespassed less than a week prior. It was March 23rd, 2026 that he was seen on surveillance footage making hand-to-hand sales of what is believed to be marijuana. He was issued a criminal trespass warning on that date. And he came back on this date and was arrested for that reason. And while searching the defendant, they did smell and find marijuana on his person that was seized. With the open cases, recent arrests, we are recommending a $1,000 split bond, recommending $1,000 surety on the criminal trespass and a signature bond through the jail on the marijuana possession. Stay away from the Touchdown Wings at 2460 MLK Jr. Drive, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Yes, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Mr. Parker, 23 years young. He was born and raised here in Georgia. He does have 2 minor children, 1-year-old and newborn baby right now. And ever since February 2026, he has been unemployed because of incarceration and his arrest. Your Honor, he has not gotten his GED after 11th grade. So I actually referred him to Leather's program, which he can get free education to get GED, and also he can get some kind of support for him to get trade school education, get license or certification to get a job. Your Honor, we would like to request for signature on bond. This is his first criminal trespass, and he didn't know that there was such a warning against him.
Each charge will be a $500 good bond, makes for a total of $1,000 good bond. I want him to have a social worker visit to assess for BHET. Stay away from the incident location. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. He's got those 2 other open cases in state court. Is that right, Mr. Sirocco?
That's correct, Judge.
All right. So if you could send those open case numbers to Ms. Bridgewater so that we can place them all on the SAP calendar, I'd appreciate it.
I say something? Excuse me, Mr. Rocco, can you send them to Ms. Grace?
Sure.
Thank you. Can I say
Thank you,
something?
Ms. Grace. Sir, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. So
I know it was about my 2 open cases. I just went to court for that, and they put both of them together.
okay, so we will assess that, Mr. Parker, and if both of your cases are together, then I will see you myself back if you don't get out of custody in 2 weeks, and we will talk about all 3 of them at that next court hearing.
I gotta wait 2 weeks.
If you don't get out of custody, yes, sir.
Oh no, I can like with the split bond. How do that work?
I'll explain to you. Okay. Your Honor, can he have a share of 10%, Your Honor?
That's fine with the court.
I got that. I got it. Yeah, I got it.
One, Ms. Sanford.
Judge, we just figured out that Miss Sanford has another case that was not filed down. We thought it was filed. So we just filed it down. She has
What are
two
the,
cases. She
what
has
are the,
two cases.
what are the charges on the second case? It's not on the calendar.
Simple battery and disorderly conduct.
Good afternoon, Ms. Sanford. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002088B with criminal trespass and damage to property, simple battery, and disorderly conduct. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Yes, Your Honor. The last arrest was August 29th, 2025 out of Fulton for false report of a crime and aggravated stalking. That's open under 25 PI 007084. There's 13 total arrest cycles with arrests out of Georgia and Wisconsin. There's a 2026 felony conviction for burglary, 2026 misdemeanor criminal trespass. It appears that they're on probation for that burglary case under 25 SC 003979, and then also on probation for disorderly conduct under 25 CR 005160B. Nothing further.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Evans, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor. As to the criminal trespass damage to property, it occurred on March the 28th at 840 United Avenue in Atlanta. The victim is a neighbor, and the victim's neighbor called to tell her someone was beating on her vehicle. The victim's name is Nija Sims, and that there were dents that were placed in the hood of the car. And they were able to identify her. Someone else saw her and was able to identify her. For that particular case, we would ask for a good bond of $500 with a social worker visit. For the case involving the simple battery, it occurred in September of 2025 at Emory Hospital, located at 550 Peachtree Street in Atlanta. The public safety officer heard someone screaming from the women's restroom and went in to investigate and found that there had been a damage to some of one of the stalls in there. At the time, she admitted to damaging a paper dispenser because she was upset because the paper dispenser wasn't moving fast enough for her. In any event, the bond recommendation is for the simple battery, and that was in reference to the officer, security officer, and it's for a $1,500 good bond. As to the disorderly conduct in which she's charged with, would be a $500 good bond, all asking that there be a social worker visit and no further violent contact. This case is being considered, it's for mental health court as well. That's our recommendation, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor. I was not aware of the disorderly conduct. I actually only see the criminal trespass and damage to property on the calendar. But Your Honor, Miss Sanford is 33 years old. She has lived in Georgia all her life. She lives with her grandmother at an address in Atlanta, Georgia, and has lived there for several years, Your Honor. She is on disability, so she's not working right now. She does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. And for the criminal trespass damage to property, the state has requested a $500 surety bond. I would request a signature bond through pretrial services rather than a $500 bond. She cannot afford a bond. For the simple battery, Your Honor, that incident allegedly occurred September of 2025. She was getting treatment at that time at the hospital at Emory. So she was experiencing a mental health crisis at the time, Your Honor, which is why she was at the hospital. I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services on that, and then as well the disorderly conduct. The state's requested a $500 bond. She can't afford a $500 bond. Again, she does have a good address, stable address where she's been for several years living with her grandmother. So I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services as well on that. And she is local to Atlanta and stated that she will be able to successfully report to pretrial services and appear to court when summoned.
Okay, for each charge will be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2, makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. Social worker visit to assess for BHET. Stay away from the Emory Hospital unless she's there for treatment. No further violent contact with the alleged officer. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Also, for the criminal trespass, no further contact with Nigel Sims. All right, good luck to you, ma'am.
All right, this got 25, Mr. Patterson.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Patterson. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002100D with criminal trespass and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Their last arrest was August the 8th, 2025, out of Fulton County for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. They have 2 arrest cycles, nothing further to report.
Mr. Sirocco?
Yes, Your Honor. He had returned to MARTA, the Lindbergh Station, 2420 Piedmont Road in Atlanta. And that was in spite of his active 365-day suspension. And he was found to be in possession of roughly 7.48 grams of suspected marijuana here. We're recommending a signature bond through pretrial services. Stay away from all MARTA premises and property in accordance with the active suspension. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And that is it for this one.
Any objection to any of that, Ms. Kim?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, for each charge will be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, makes for a total of a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Stay away from MARTA, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Does he need assistance with housing?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Patterson.
Second row. 32, Mr. Snipes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Snipes. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002087E with criminal trespass and damage to property. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Last arrest was February 22nd, 2025, out of Cobb for an FTA. There are 29 arrest cycles, felony conviction in 2021 for possession of methamphetamine with intent, cocaine with intent, and possession of Schedule 1 or 2 controlled substance with intent. There are 4 misdemeanor convictions outside the last 10-year period. There is a 2016, 2016, 2017, 2018, there was a misdemeanor conviction for driving while license suspended or revoked. There's an FTA from 2025, nothing further.
Thank you, Mr. Sirocco.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident took place just yesterday at 505 Inkberry Drive in South Fulton. It's an Airbnb. The victim, Miss Kenesha Kirkland, and the defendant are married. They're staying in an Airbnb at that location. but the victim had not been at the residence for a few days. When she returned, there was an argument that began, and she had stayed in her vehicle out of fear of it becoming physical. The defendant had struck and broke her driver's side window. The neighbor was the one who called 911 here, thankfully. And the two have been, yeah, the two have been, we've spoken with Ms. Kirkland. They've been married for 7 years, separated for about a year and a half. They share 7 children, and they live together on and off, she states. She and her husband were arguing, and he got upset and broke the window, and she's getting the window fixed today. She says this is the first time this sort of thing has happened. She's not opposed to contact, and she will not be able to make it on the Zoom today, but did want to voice that for her. He does have the 2025 FTA. There's also another FTA from 2010, where he was also, this was a Mississippi arrest, a Mississippi case where he was also arrested for simple domestic violence. The state's recommendation on account of the FTAs and his history, we are recommending $1,000 surety bond here. No further contact, given that this took place just yesterday. There's not been a sufficient cooling off period. We're recommending a stay away from the Airbnb location, 505 Inkberry Drive in South Fulton. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And if she did happen to make it on, if we could sound for Ms. Kirkland at this time, Judge.
Based on who's on, it does not appear that Ms. Kirkland is with us. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Snipes is 49 years old. He has been here in Georgia for more than 22 years. Your Honor, they have been married legally, and they have 7 children together. He graduated from high school, Gentry High School, and ever since then, they have a rental car business right now. We asked for signature on bond through pretrial only because he has a hold in Cobb County, so he's not going back to his house right away. He has to be released to Cobb County, and we don't know how long it will take for that FTA. And Your Honor, my client is asking for no further violent contact. After getting out of Cobb County, he will probably have enough cooling off period. And they do have a business together, they work together, and they have children, 7 of them together, Your Honor. Thank you.
Will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with Ms. Kirkland. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Does he have any need to go back to that Inkberry Drive address, Ms. Kim?
No.
Okay. All right, so stay away from the Inkberry Drive address.
Thank you,
Good
Your
luck
Honor.
to you, sir.
37, Mr. Williams.
This is Mr. Williams, is that right? To Sean Williams, is that who we have?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Williams, you've been charged in case 26 CR 002073L with theft by taking and criminal trespass. Is there a history?
Yes, Your Honor. Their last arrest was October 7, 2025 out of Fulton for criminal trespass and fare evasion. That's open and they're being supervised by pretrial, so we'll be surrendering their bond. That case number is 25 CR 006245L. There's 5 total arrest cycles. They have a felony conviction 2025 where they for aggravated assault and possession of a firearm. It appears that they're on first offender probation for that, and an FTA from 2024. Nothing further.
Thank you, Mr. Siraka.
Yes, Your Honor, this was at the Lindbergh MARTA station, March 25th of this year. Defendant had asked to use the victim. His name is Hoover Hernandez. Asked to use the victim's phone, but he then proceeded to take it and walked and then ran away. He has a permanent ban from MARTA, and he was eventually detained. And he did admit to taking and selling the phone in this instance here. With his history, Your Honor, the state is recommending $1,500 total surety bond, $1,000 on the theft by taking, and $500 on the criminal trespass. No further contact with Mr. Hoover Hernandez. Stay away from all MARTA premises and property in accordance with that permanent ban. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol will allowed on bond.
Mr. Sraka, could you look up the 6245L case for me, the bond in that? And
I'd be happy to. Could you give me the full case number, Judge?
I believe it's 25 CR 006245L.
I'll have that for you in a moment.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Kim. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Mr. Williams, is 19 years young, Your Honor. He was born and raised here in Georgia, and actually he's still going to high school right now, Skyview High School, and he's doing really great at school. He got 3.5 GPA. He is planning to go to college. He want to be an entrepreneur. While he's going to school full time, he also works at UPS, unloading the trucks. Your Honor, we would like to request for signature on bond through jail for theft by taking. He denies the allegation. He does not know the person. He does not have any iPhone 17, any of that. I think there's got to be somebody who he was mistaken for. He denies the allegation. I actually encouraged him to go to Leathers program shortly after he graduated from high school, so that way he can get trade work, education, and hopefully get a real job. That's all, Your Honor.
And I do have that information for Your Honor on the bond. On the aforementioned case, Judge, it was a $1,500 total signature bond through pretrial services level 1. It was a consent bond as part of the conditions for the bond. He was it looks like it was a different MARTA station, but and he was told to stay away from there. But one of the other conditions was to comply with the permanent suspension issued by MARTA, which he's in violation of here. And yeah, that's what I have. That was signed off on by Judge Lal on October 8th, 2025, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the way he understood was when he goes to the probation to report, he was allowed to use MARTA since he had no car, and as long as it is not that specific station that he does not have to get off at that location, he was allowed to use it. So this is kind of like, yeah.
All right, so for each charge will be a $500 good bond, makes for a total of $1,000 good bond. At this point in time, stay away from MARTA, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Williams.
And if he shares 10%, he's 19 years old, doesn't have much money.
It's fine with the court, Ms. Kim.
And if we're gonna add on one, Mr. Corano, follow.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Corano. You've been charged in case 26 CR 002105J with driving under the influence of alcohol less safe, driving without a valid license, and driving under the influence of alcohol per se. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was October 29th, 2025 out of Gwinnett for an FTA. There are 6 cycles in Georgia. There appears to be a holdout of Lawrenceville for an FTA. The date of the warrant is January 27th, 2026. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Evans.
Yes, Your Honor, this incident happened March the 29th they were in the area of Colton Crest Drive in reference to suspicions suspicious activity, indicating that there was a car engine that kept revving. Once the officers got there, they found him slumped over in the car, sleeping in the vehicle with the engine running. And he appeared to be incoherent, didn't understand directions that were being given. They conducted the field safety sobriety standards to determine whether or not he was safe to drive, and would indicate that he was not. He also submitted to, yes, he also agreed for a blood draw. And we're asking for bond in the amount of $2,500 for the DUI, less safe, and $1,000 for the traffic violation. And $1,500 for the driving under the influence per se, for a $5,000 surety. No driving while not licensed. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Corano is 22 years old. He has lived in Georgia for several years. I would ask that the bond on the DUI less safe remain at $1,500 surety, which is where it is right now. The driving without a valid license, I would request the lowest possible surety bond on that charge. And I did not see the add-on calendar, but the other charge is a DUI per se. I would request that Your Honor split the bond for the DUI less safe and per se to $750 each, for a total of $1,500 on two charges that really should be one charge. So that his bond is not doubled for that reason, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Each of the DUI charges, it will be $1,000 good bond. For the driving without a valid license, a $500 good bond, makes for a total of a $2,500 good bond. No driving without a valid license, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir. You have next?
Then we go to the waivers next. Start with 14.
Okay. Mr. Goulbourne, charged in case 26 CR 002077A with window tint violation, fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer, and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history, Ms. Harding?
The last arrest was November the 11th, 2025, out of Fulton for a probation violation. There are 7 total arrest cycles in Georgia. Felony conviction for possession of a dangerous weapon. It appears that they're on first offender probation on that case under 25 SC 000201. There's a misdemeanor conviction for theft by shoplifting, a 2024 misdemeanor conviction for criminal trespass. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco?
Yes, Your Honor. I did see, we did pull up the driving history here as well. Failure to keep in proper lane, 2025 conviction, NOLOs for improper erratic lane change, 2022 and 2020, and 2021 NOLO for failure to obey traffic signs or control devices. Additionally, I do see the open case against the defendant, 26 PI 002516. It's an aggravated assault, reckless driving from incident date March 4th, 2026, where he's accused of intentionally driving the same vehicle being driven here into a victim, causing all sorts of injuries and a broken leg. The March 28th incident here, it was along Cleveland Avenue in Atlanta. Law enforcement received information that a wanted person was possibly occupying the red 2017 BMW in that area. Officer initiated a check on the vehicle's registration and found that the registered owner, the defendant, confirmed that the registration insurance was valid, and it had discovered that the defendant did have an active warrant out for arrest for that open case that I just mentioned. The windows, it was the front windshield, officer observed were tinted beyond what's legally allowed here. The they did attempt to initiate a stop. There was on this date a stop after the windshield violation, and the defendant had not basically refused to give the officer the license here. And the officer is trying to verify the identity here, given the open case, the open warrant. And defendant stated, "I don't have it. Can I just go?" Officer said no, and was very adamant, needed to confirm the identity. Nervously reached in the glove compartment. Officer never asked for registration. Essentially, the defendant refused to get out of the vehicle when the officer had ordered her to lawfully. And then the defendant proceeded to flee. It was roughly 500 feet while officers pursued by vehicle. And they initiated a stop down the road near Cleveland Avenue and I-75. Where the defendant was taken into custody. State is recommending a $3,000 split bond on this case, Your Honor, with her history in the open case. Recommending $2,500 surety on the fleeing and eluding, $500 on the obstruction, and a signature bond through the jail on the window tint violation. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond, and we'd recommend no driving as well.
Thank you. Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor, Miss Goldborn is 23 years old. She did have her first appearance on the other charges earlier this morning and received no bond, so she's not going anywhere. I would request, I have no objection to the signature bond through the jail on the window tint. She denies the allegations as stated in the warrant as far as the fleeing and eluding for 500 feet or the willful obstruction, Your Honor. So I would ask for the lowest possible surety bond on those charges. And nothing further. Sorry, Your Honor. She has lived in Georgia since she was 8 years old. She graduated from high school. She attended college at Georgia State University and currently works as a server.
For the window tint, will be $100 signature bond through the jail. So it'll be a split bond. For the fleeing or attempted to elude, $1,500 good bond. For the obstruction, a $500 good bond. Makes for a total of a $2,000 good bond. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. I believe the next in line is position 15, Zakiah Hall. Is that right?
Yes, Judge.
That's a waiver, okay. Who is charged in case 26 CR 0020003G with hit and run, failure to signal a lane change, following too closely, driving under the influence of alcohol, possession of an open alcohol container, and endangering a child by driving under the influence of alcohol. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Your Honor, give me one moment. This wasn't on my pull sheet.
Okay.
And what's the name again?
Position 15, the last name is Hall, Hall.
Okay, Your Honor, there are 2 arrest cycles, no convictions to report at this time.
Okay. Yes, Ms. Evans.
Okay, I don't have it. It should be Mr. Sirocco.
This was not on my list earlier. Is this a bind over or this is a reset from a different day?
Excuse me, Judge, from my understanding, Mr. Jordan said this shouldn't have been placed on the calendar.
Okay.
It should have went to the SAP calendar, and I think it's another case as well like that.
All right, so we don't have anything on position 15. The next I have on line is position 19. Quinetta Jones, is that a waiver?
Yes, Your Honor, Judge.
All right, so Quinetta Jones is charged in case 26 CR 002084Y with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Harden?
Their last arrest was March the 10th, 2026, out of Fulton for criminal trespass and giving false info to law enforcement. It appears that they're on probation on that case under 26 CR 001624K. There's 29 total arrest cycles, misdemeanor conviction in 2024 for criminal trespass and possession and use of drug-related objects, 2023 criminal trespass, 2021 possession of marijuana with intent, 2020 simple battery and disorderly conduct, 2019 criminal trespass, 2015 criminal trespass. There's FTAs from 2019 and 2023, as well as 2 other probation cases, one for robbery and one for criminal trespass. Nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco?
Thank you, Judge. And I mean, I do have some more history here. If I overlap, I'm sorry, but a lot of these are within the past year or so. The 25 CR 002713B conviction for simple assault and criminal trespass. That's the one I have her as certainly being in violation of the stay away for, convicted June of 2025. So in violation of the stay away there. 25 CR 000726B, criminal trespass. That conviction from last year, 25 CR 000725B. That was simple battery and disorderly conduct. A couple more, 24 CR 003170B, criminal trespass, simple battery in a public transit vehicle or station. Same charges here, in addition to obtaining unlawful entry into MARTA under 24 CR 007554B. And that was a conviction from January of last year. And there's 2 more cases I have just in recent history, 24 CR 003170B, criminal trespass, simple battery in a public transit vehicle or station. Same exact charges with 24 CR 000887F. And that was both of those last 2 were 2024 convictions, in addition to other convictions. But all of the ones that I mentioned just now are MARTA cases, Judge, each and every one of those. And she's in violation of probation for having returned here to 30 Alabama Street on March 28th, 2026. It's the little 5 Points MARTA station. And she was taking trash from the trash can, throwing it on the floor. And she is in permanent ban. It's been in effect since September 21st, 2023. So she shouldn't be anywhere near any sort of MARTA property here. The state's recommending, given the honestly the risk to the community based on her criminal history. I'm glad this didn't go and translate into a violent incident here, but from the history, it very easily could have. At the very least, this is disorderly and she's in violation of her probation. So we're recommending a $6,000 surety, Judge. Social worker visit for BHET. Stay away from all MARTA premises and property. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Thank you, Ms. Kim.
Your Honor, we do agree with the worker visit for housing and BHET. And Your Honor, there's already $3,500 surety bond set. So we would like to request that remains set. And believe that her case should be reset for competency calendar on Thursday, 11 a.m.
Okay. So I believe the competency calendar will be on the 16th of April. So Ms. Bridgewater, if we can put her on the competency calendar on the 16th.
Okay.
Thank you. And the bond will be $3,500 good. Social worker visit to assess for BHUT housing, stay away from MARTA, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The next in line is position 23, Darius Owens. Is this also a waiver?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, he's charged in case 26 CR 002094H with battery, simple assault, willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, and criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Carter?
Their last arrest was September 11, 2025, out of Fulton County for loiter, prowl, obstruction, and criminal trespass. The case is open under 25 CR 005526H. There's also another open case for battery and simple battery under 25 CR 005644H. They have 7 total cycles and an FTA from 2024. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. In this particular case, the incident occurred at 1174 Euclid Avenue Northeast, in which there was an ongoing dispute between Mr. Owens and someone else. It appeared that Miss Eaton, who was here with us earlier today, and he had gotten into a disagreement with another couple. At some point in time, there appeared to be a disagreement between the parties. There's a security officer, Mr. Mitchell, who indicated that he was trying to, there was a dog that Mr. Owens had, and that the dog appeared to be biting individuals, so he tried to remove the dog from the circumstance so that he wouldn't bite anyone. And then Mr. Owens hit him. The same Mr. Johnson was trying to become involved in the situation as well to make sure that there's a separation of the parties as well, and he was hit also. The bond recommendation is is currently at 10,000 for 2 charges. For each charge at 20,000, we're asking for the bond to be at $2,000 for each charge, which would make a total of a $10,000 signature bond through pretrial services at level 2. We're asking for, and this is a alcohol involved incident, so we are asking for an EDET, that he complete 2 anger management classes, that he has no further contact with Mr. Mitchell and Mr. Johnson, and stay away from the Little 5 pub at 1174 Euclid Avenue Northeast. And Austin Tucker is the officer involved, and there would be no further violent contact with Officer Tucker. Thank you, Judge.
Can you do the breakdown again for me? I'm sorry, Ms. Evans-Battle. For the battery, what is the recommendation?
Yes, it's $2,000 for each, and there are 5.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. Yes, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor, we have no objection to a signature on bond. We just said we asked for pretrial level 1. He is 31 years old. He's been here in Georgia for the last 25 years. And he has a 9-year-old child that he has to continuously pay child support. That's a lot of money that he has to pay as well. He went to college. He did have a business management education at West Central Georgia Tech. He also went to ROTC. He's working as a security guide. Your Honor, he does not have any MH or any drug issues. It was that he was beaten up so much to the point that he's currently at medical. His arm is totally bloody. Even the bandage became all bloody, so he had to change the bandage, and he's got lots of marks and scars. He was the victim, actually. I do not understand why he was arrested instead of somebody else who was beating him. So we asked for a signature on bond through pretrial level 1. Thank you.
For each charge will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $10,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Mr. Mitchell or Mr. Johnson. No further violent contact with Officer Tucker. Stay away from the Euclid Avenue address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe the next in line is position 29 with Kenneth Robertson. Is that also a waiver?
He made bond.
Yeah.
Bond was bonded out, okay. After that is position number 30 with Stacy Russell. Is that a waiver?
I think this was an error because he came in court.
What's that?
He came to court on these on the 6th. I believe they were at an error.
Yes.
This may be the additional open case that we received from municipal, Your Honor. We've accused that. They've given that over here to us. He has another open DUI. Could someone read me the charges on that, Stacy Russell? Make sure it's the same one.
Driving under the influence of alcohol, failure to maintain lane, reckless driving, driving while license was suspended or revoked, possession of open alcohol container, and willful obstruction.
And is there another possession of open alcohol container on Mr. Russell's?
Just that one.
Not on this position.
Could I just very quickly receive the case number, Your Honor?
26 CR 002066G.
Yes, this is the one that was accused last Thursday, Judge. And it's he wasn't, it's my understanding he wasn't being held on this, but he is being held on his other open case, like an $8,000 cash bond with his history of DUIs. And he's got another open DUI in DeKalb, I believe.
Someone spoken with him regarding these charges today?
No, Your Honor.
No. All right, so someone's gonna have to speak with him. We'll reset this case until Wednesday, I guess, which is the 1st.
Judge, I'm gonna double check with Mr. Jordan. That was the other he said that was bind over, so it actually should have been just put on an SAP calendar. It was placed on the calendar by mistake. So you want to do you want to?
I don't know if does he have a bond in this matter? Has he? Oh, why don't we, out of an abundance of caution, we just put it on for April 1st, and if you need to take it off, we can.
Okay.
Okay. All right, the next in line is position number 33, Terry Stewart. Is that a waiver?
Yes. Word is.
Excuse me, Judge, for cutting you off. I have Mr. Jordan right here. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
So, was it Sanford?
Mr. Russell.
So Russell was put on the calendar by mistake. He's been in our jail since March the 3rd, and I think the solicitors filed that case for the SAP calendar. He came over as a bind over from East Point, think it was an East Point bind over, but he already has a cash bond, and he had a first appearance at East Point.
Okay, all right. So, well, do you know what SAP calendar it's placed on?
We'll put him on next Tuesday's SAP calendar.
Okay, all right. You got that, Miss Bridgewater?
Next Tuesdays?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, back to position 33, Terry Stewart. Is that a waiver?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, he is charged in case 26 CR 002082J with battery, family violence, theft by taking, I believe 2 counts. Is there a history?
Their last arrest was July 18th, 2005, out of DeKalb for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. That's their only arrest cycle, nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco?
Yes, Your Honor. This was from January 3rd, 2025.
You said it was 2 separate.
Miss Bridgewater, you're not on mute, Miss Bridgewater.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
January
Yes.
3rd, 2025. Thank you, Your Honor. Defendant had entered the victim's apartment. Her name is Renisha Seaborn. They shared children. He was asked to leave. He refused to leave. They began arguing, and the defendant then punched the victim in the face twice, leaving her with a swollen and bruised left eye. After he left, she noticed her Apple Watch from her dresser and her firearm from her purse were missing. This precedes the September 11th, 2025 incident with the same victim currently being held. Also on 26 PI 002544. It's battery, family violence, criminal damage to property in the second, and cruelty to children in the third. That involved accused of following the victim into her home when the victim had a friend over. And there was another male the defendant didn't know, asked her about him, was accused of striking her in the face, leaving visible injuries there, and also brandishing a firearm and shooting in the direction of Mr. Bellamy, that friend that he did not know. State's recommendation with that other open case, we have a concern for the safety of Miss Renisha Seaborn. We are recommending a $5,000 total surety, $3,000 on the battery, family violence, and $1,000 on each the theft by taking charges. No further contact with Miss Seaborn. Stay away from the incident location, that 960 Constitution Road address in Atlanta. And we would recommend that he surrender any and all firearms to the sheriff's office, in addition to, of course, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons, Your Honor.
Who's representing Mr. Stewart?
With me, Your
Okay.
Honor. My
Okay.
is 40 years old, and Your Honor, actually, he turned himself in when he found out that there were 2 warrants, one for, of course, January 3rd, 2025 case, and then second one for that felony charge. So he's at felony court right now. That's why he's not here, and he had to waive the appearance. But Your Honor, he says that the complaining witness, Mrs. Seaborn, is actually out of state. So there's no problem with the no contact and stay away. The incident location was her older place where my client does not reside there. And there's nobody actually living there right now. He does have a new address, which is at Odyssey right now. He is currently residing with his mother. And after 12th grade, he has been driving, and right now he's driving trailer. He does have total 5 children, actually, Your Honor, and 2 of them are with Miss Seaborn, the complaining witness here in this case, 5 and 7 years old. As long as he gets third-party transfer to take care of his 2 children, he is okay with no contact and stay away. My client denies the allegation, and he says that he does not own any firearm, and he did not steal anything. It seems like there was a misunderstanding. This is his first actually arrest that is kind of like a violence related. We ask for a signature on bond through pretrial level 1.
For the battery, it will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For each of the theft charges, a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Ms. Seaborn. Stay away from her residential address. Third-party transfer of any minor children. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, next in line is position number 34, Jean Talley. Is that a waiver?
Yes, Your Honor, it is waiver.
Who is charged in case 26 CR 002079G with criminal trespass. Is there a history?
Their last arrest was June the 2nd, 2024 out of DeKalb for criminal trespass. They have 27 cycles out of Georgia, 9 out of Alabama, 1 out of Florida. There was a 2016 felony conviction for burglary. Appears to be a hold out of Decatur for trespass. The date of that warrant is January the 10th, 2026. There is a 2017 misdemeanor conviction for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. 2015 theft of services. Nothing further to report.
Thank you, Mr. Sirocco.
Yes, Judge. This was the incident took place at the McDonald's at 526 Ponce de Leon Avenue in Atlanta. This was on March 29th, 2026, so just yesterday. Defendant was there at the location. He was asked to leave by the store manager. He refused, and when officers arrived, he was sleeping in a chair. State's recommendation here is a signature bond through pretrial. We'd recommend a social worker visit for housing. Stay away from the McDonald's at the aforementioned location. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond, and I believe that is all.
Any objection to any of that, Ms. Kim?
He has to go to DeKalb County hold. We would like to request for a signature on bond through jail, so he doesn't have obligation to report to pretrial service, Your Honor.
Did I hear he had previous criminal trespass charges?
Yes, John.
Okay, so I can't send him to the jail, Ms. Kim. So it will be a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Stay away from that McDonald's. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next in line is position number 35, Francis Tucker. Is this a waiver as well?
No, Your Honor. I was not able to speak with her. Officer Milton stated that needed to be reset to tomorrow.
Okay, till Wednesday, so that will be
Oh, sorry,
April.
yes, Wednesday.
Okay, I believe that's April 1st, so we'll reset position 35 until Wednesday, the 1st. The next in line is position 36, Walton Johnson. Is that a waiver?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who is charged in case 26 CR 002074D with 2 counts of criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Their last arrest was July 28th, 2008, out of City of Atlanta for simple battery. They have 9 arrest cycles. They had a disorderly conduct misdemeanor conviction in 2000, 1999 obstruction. Nothing further.
Yes, Mr. Sirocco.
Yes, Your Honor, this was the March 27th, 2026 incident at Greenbrier Mall. That is at 2841 Greenbrier Parkway in Atlanta. The defendant had returned to the Greenbrier Mall property after having previously been criminally trespassed and also entered and remained in a vehicle there at the location. It was a 2016 Kia Rio belonging to Miss Monica Hardman. State's recommendation here is going to be a signature bond through pretrial services. No further contact with Monica Hardman, Hardmon. Stay away from the Greenbrier Mall property in accordance with any active trespass. And no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. He may need a social worker visit for housing or BHET.
Does he have a criminal trespass conviction in the past or charge in the past? Does she have any request? I didn't hear any.
I didn't see one on the GCIC.
Can she have a signature on bond through jail, Your Honor?
Okay, for each charge will be $1,000 signature bond through the jail, makes for a total of a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. No further contact with Ms. Hardman, stay away from the Greenbrier Mall, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes. Now I just got this additional add-on calendar with Chris Shonda Sanford. Do we need to address that?
That's the case we addressed those additional charges.
Oh,
Okay,
so that's already been handled.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
But we do have another situation. Right before we came on, I received a case that had tried to get unlinked. And I filed it down and I just realized that we hadn't addressed the case. So I refiled it. And his name is trying to pull it up. It's first name is Jamin, Jamin, last name Centeno.
All right, so that's gonna have to be reset as well because no one has spoken with that gentleman.
Correct.
I
Or have
did
y'all?
I did speak with him. I think that he had already paid bond on whatever charges he came in with. I think it was a DUI.
Yes.
And I think the only thing so that bond has been paid, and the only thing keeping him in custody now is an ICE hold. So that's why he wasn't brought for the calendar. There was nothing.
Okay, I didn't see him released, but that's fine. I mean, you know how they show.
Yeah,
it.
he's just pending the ICE hold.
Okay.
Okay. So have we covered everyone this afternoon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Bridgewater, you seemed a little perplexed. You have something else, Ms. Evans?
Yes, hold on here.
Yeah. We have the bond, the consent bond for
Okay.
Mr.
What was that? A couple of them, I think. Is it like 26 position? Hold on.
26 and 27.
Yes. Okay. Let me go down this calendar. Y'all did it to me today. Okay, here we go.
Honey, when I woke up at 6 and looked at that calendar and it said 40 and people started adding cases. Oh my gosh.
Okay. The reset date for the SAP calendar is April the 14th. Position number 1 is reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 2 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 3 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $2,000 good bond. 4 is going to the SAP calendar dated April the 7th with a $1,000 good bond. 5 SAP calendar going back to April the 14th with a total $1,000 good bond. 6 is reset further notice with a total $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 7 is reset further notice with a total $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 8, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 9 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 10, reset further notice with a total $6,000 SOB through pretrial. 11, reset further notice with a total $9,000 SOB through pretrial. 12, reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 13 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $2,500 good bond. 14 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $2,100 split bond. 15, Zakiah Hall. Did we say this was not going to be heard today? I don't have anything.
Wasn't this one of the ones that was mistakenly on the calendar? Am I wrong?
Maybe so.
I
So,
think it might
Yes.
be.
okay. So we're going to mark this as not on docket, okay? Are we in agreement with that? Or how?
Oh, was it? I'm not sure what the reason for the mistake was. Is this
It was supposed to be on the SAP calendar.
that's
Ms.
what I
Hall,
yeah.
Ms. Hall was released, reset further.
She was
notice.
released?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so she was released. Okay, I'll mark it at that. Okay, 16 is reset further notice, and notice we changed both of these charges to be included as a family violence charge.
Mhm.
It is reset further notice with a $3,000 total bond. 17 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $3,000 good bond. 18, SAP calendar with a total $7,000 split bond. 19 is a $3,500 good bond. However, it's going to the comp calendar for April the 16th. 20 is reset further notice with a total $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 21, SAP calendar with a $2,000 good bond. 22 is reset further notice with a total $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 23 is reset further notice with a total $10,000 SOB through pretrial. 24 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good bond. 25 is reset further notice with a total $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 26 and 27 are both consent bonds. 28 is reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 29 is reset further notice the defendant was released. Position 30 is being reset to SAP's calendar for next Tuesday, April. No, that can't be right. Okay, yeah, maybe so.
That's right.
Okay, it's reset for next Tuesday on the SAP calendar.
Yes, ma'am.
For the
Okay,
7th.
for the 7th. I had the first. Y'all don't have my brain go. Okay. So position 31 is reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through pretrial. 32 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 33 is reset further notice with a total $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 34 reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through pretrial. 35 is reset to the next C calendar, which is April the 1st. 36 reset further notice with a total $2,000 SOB through the jail. 37 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good bond. Now for the add-on calendar, and I saw a couple of these come through. I haven't been able to really update. This Jaime, is it correct? He's reset till April the 14th with a total $2,500 good bond. And I understand we have one other person. I haven't been able to pull that down yet. Will somebody go ahead and tell me what that is?
Yes, Ms. Bridgewater, that was Miss Sanford, 2000. What was her other case? Let me look.
Okay, I know it was $1,000 on each of the charges. And on the second one, it's okay, on the add-on, it's a 2,000 SOB through pretrial.
Pretrial 2, yes, ma'am.
Okay, are there any other cases that were on the add-on calendar? I don't believe there were.
That's it.
Judge, you want to chime in and tell me?
No, I think you've gotten, there were only 2, right?
Okay, yeah. So if that's it, there you have your calendar.
All right, thank you all. I will see you all next Monday.
Okay. Take care, everyone.
Y'all have a good rest of the day and a nice week.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.